Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 555.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
It's show number 555 of Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
The number of the R-word beast is 555.
Yeah.
No, it's 666. I don't know. Whatever. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Dan.
Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Travis Butler is here on news. Seth Petrozelli and myriad of friends of the show hanging out today with us in studio, and we're glad to have you on this beautiful Friday afternoon.
Real quick, we'll be at Hullabaloo tomorrow.
Pretty stoked about this, man.
Daniel and I are hosting the event. There's a bunch of local bands. Oklahoma Stackhouse, our buddies. They got a wakeboard rail jam going on all day. It's a festival-style event, so you can bring your kids, all ages. You can bring chairs and blankets. They got food trucks, vendors. Then Eve 6 and Sugar Ray are playing.
Yeah.
All first responders are free to get in. Any active,
Except for Grizz. No Grizz.
No.
You're not
Active
allowed.
or retired military. Oh, I got some Grizz stories for you.
Oh, I bet.
And it's all for a great cause, Second Harvest Food Bank. So come out tomorrow. It's going to be a perfect day. Nice
The
and cool.
weather's going to be ridiculously nice. It's going to be nice to live in Florida.
I have a karate test tomorrow, and we have a barbecue at my house after. So it's
Haven't you ascended to the highest level of karate?
Not me, for my students.
Oh, okay.
God,
Are you a black belt now?
Yeah, I've been a black belt.
Or I like how you were like, are you a black belt? Like what?
I don't know if that's
racist or something?
well, I don't know. Who that's everyone's sensitive now.
I hold multiple black belts in multiple.
Oh,
Well,
my
don't
God.
say you own. No, don't say that. Make sure you wear your Tom and Dan gear tomorrow.
Yeah,
If you're coming
wear
out
your
to
gear.
Hullabaloo.
That helps us
Wear
out.
your black belt.
Also, speaking, it's going to be cool, so you can wear your Tom and Dan hoodies. And speaking of those, Eric, our merchman, told me that they're selling out pretty quick. So definitely pick one up. It's our softest hoodie we could find, Bella Canvas. And
by softest, we mean it's just as soft as last year's.
Yeah.
but it was
is
the softest one that
it's
we
the
could buy.
newest softest.
And Tony Palmiotti wanted to remind everybody
Chex Mix is still good!
Is he bringing Chex Mix tomorrow?
I
he
hope
held 3 inside cabins and 4 balconies. That's it for this Tom and Dan cruise coming up. So, but he held
We're
it.
almost done, right?
Yeah, at the price of $874 for an inside and $1174 for a balcony. But if you wanted to buy an inside right now, they'd be $1,677 if you just went to their website. And the balconies are sold out. But Tony's got a couple, so if you want to go, he's still got the original prices on a couple.
Why are you calling the show during Tom's plugs?
I was just calling in to say I just left a meeting where I invested in a grow operation
All
for
right.
cannabis.
How did you invest?
I have asked you repeatedly not to call this line, Stephen Kramer.
So, how did that come about? What'd you were they looking for invest? Like, what is it?
Are you rich?
Yeah, up in Michigan, we went recreational a couple years ago, and they're finally got all the laws in place, and there's a lot of grow operations opening up, and you can't go and get a traditional loan at banks right now. And there's only a couple credit unions, that will loan out for these operations. So there was a website that links up investors and entrepreneurs, and got a hold of them through that, and just kept moving with the relationship. But
How
basically,
much money you put in?
Go ahead.
What are we talking here?
Awful for a percentage.
30K.
All right.
A lot of dough.
What kind of percentage rate are you getting back?
It's actually over the next 4 crop cycles paid double of my investment.
Back after
So-
4 crops, you'll get 60 back? Sounds a little fishy. I mean,
we should probably do that, right?
It seems like for that return, they should be able to easily get millionaires to put in the 100% of, because anybody's offering 100% return on an investment, like they're not looking for measly 30K.
Well, hold on.
Like
How
some
long
guy
push-
would just be like, all right, how much you need? 4 million? I'll give you 4 million if you
How
double
long-
that.
but I would ask, how long is 4 crop cycles?
The point that it's doubled in money is that they're not giving out equity in the company. A lot of like bigger investors like that would want to take equity, and up in Michigan, when you get your license, there's a huge vetting process to make sure that there isn't dirty money, basically, getting these licenses and these applications to grow.
That was a great album, Puff Daddy's Dirty Money. That was great. I enjoyed that a lot.
Did you have to convince your old lady to take out your 401k and
Are you
because
shaking your piggy bank? Like what?
yeah. This is I promise, baby. This is the best. We're gonna be rich.
I know I took out Bright Futures early and we got penalized, but we'll make it all back. I swear.
They promised.
No, it didn't take much convincing. I do all right up here, and I have a few friends who are involved in other projects, so kind of get their advice and them along my side. So,
would you invest into T&D Media?
Yeah.
Because I've got a plan for you. We offer 200%.
I already do.
What?
$3.95 a month.
Why is everybody going with the $3.95?
You went up $1.
You know what?
That's the second time we've heard it this week.
You owe us a $4.95.
Oh, you're rich, sir. You just told us
you gave $30K to some scam artist.
Off your wallet.
Yeah, some weed scammer.
Yeah, some weed scammer got you $30K and you're fucking around with a $3.95. You go to at least $4.95 or you can fuck off.
I got approached by a couple investors wanting me to do the same thing with like buy into like another like couple acres. They had a couple acres. They wanted another couple acres. Like, look, this is the thing. We're making this much. You put in whatever 20K and you can get it back in like a year. And I'm like, it just sounds.
Are you
beating
him?
Yeah.
$3.95?
No, he didn't. No, he's not. He don't even know our website. I bet you. Okay.
I just signed up for Twitch for you. I signed up for Twitch.
$4.95.
I paid Twitch. I was like, am I supposed to do this? And I paid.
Twitch!
No, don't pay Twitch.
Well, I wanted to do it
Pay us.
to listen to you guys. I was
No,
like,
never do that.
I'm sick of
Amazon
not knowing
Prime?
what's going on.
All right, thanks for calling,
It's
sir.
free,
Good luck with your
Well,
investment.
fuck me. Well, you guys don't tell me this stuff.
You don't ask.
I don't know because I don't care.
You've
Because
been on the show for 2 years.
I don't really care. Really,
At least you're honest.
Well, wait
Now,
a minute.
I don't
Don't
care.
pay him then because he's just going to take the money we give him and do $4.95.
No, every time I forget, it's like Wednesday. He's like, "Hey, I noticed." I'm like, "You noticed? I don't notice anything." I'm like, "How do you know? You're rich. How do you know?"
Because I look at I get notifications on my PayPal whenever there's money hit down. And I'm waiting for that TD Media to
Why are you waiting for it?
TD Media to ching.
A lot of people are waiting for the
Right.
T&D media to change. A lot of people.
Well, I know.
Our editor.
We're
our
still
radio,
waiting for
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't, I know where you guys are at. I'll break your
My
fingers.
my PayPal's not even confirmed. You got to get that email address confirmed.
So-
Mine's not confirmed yet, so I have a very low rate.
So, Seth, how you doing?
Good.
Now, Seth pulled up. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, parking now." And then when you walked in, I was like, "Hey, did you bring your car?" Because I saw on Facebook that your rap was complete and you debuted it. And now,
I got
What's everybody? Me, Seth, me, kick, me, punch hard.
I was going somewhere else with that.
Punch, punch, punch. Kick, kick, kick. Look at you. You're the shit.
so
There's more the dance than the rap.
now,
I could dance.
Kept
When
waiting
I'm
for-
drunk, I can dance.
When you're drunk, you really it's like Dancing with the Stars.
My pants usually come down.
All right, that's good. Everybody's,
my ball out of the
all
top
of the
part of
best
the thing.
dancers drop their pants.
Yes.
Everyone knows that.
we
or the top ball comes out. I just see how long it takes for people to notice. It's hanging.
You
out.
seem like you're holding something back.
Sorry,
Tom.
go ahead.
no. I was
Oh,
like,
he's gonna rip. I know what he's thinking. I showed him the car and he's about to rip me. So I'm
no,
just waiting for it.
how
waiting for it.
dare you now because
You're in a safe space here. Didn't you see the safety pins on my shirt?
I saw pictures of it on Facebook, but the angles you took, like you didn't really debut all around the car. It was just like here's
He took like creative,
sneak peek.
yeah.
It's
They're teasing because I don't want you guys to know it's me and then piss on it or something.
Why? I'm not. Okay.
Not you guys in particular, just anybody in general.
Like,
Like,
I'm
that's
gonna piss
definitely.
on
it says your name.
Yeah,
your-
it does say my
It
name.
has your
It
Instagram
does say
on the
my
back
name.
window.
Yeah, well, that takes a little bit of
Facebook Live
searching.
Literally, someone pulled up and rolled down the window. Was like, "Hey, Seth," and you're like, "Hey," and you. I saw
really?
it in your
Why,
eyes.
you guys were out there?
And I'm like, "Oh, this is why."
Yeah,
He pulled up, and then you literally go. I was like, "Of course he did." It says your goddamn name on there. A white, bright white Hellcat
Because I didn't know who that was.
with
That's what
blood
I
on the
was-
front.
Yeah.
Now-
So it's a bright white.
yeah. Because I had to see it.
Wide body.
Yes. So it's 2020 or 2019.
2019.
So 2019
Oh,
Hellcat.
it's old now.
Literally.
No, now it's old.
By the way,
Oh my God.
It's got
Wait,
200 miles on it.
Yeah, has it got good technology in it? What's it got? A tape player? Like it's 2019.
Seth still hasn't taken off like the yellow sticker on the front bumper they use for
The
shipping.
guard, yeah, the
the
guard.
shipping
Yeah,
guard.
yeah.
Splitter guard, yeah.
And so that's how new the car is. So
Did you pull the spacers out
I
of
just
the
don't
back
want to
wheels?
get under the car to do it. I didn't want to
Pull
get
those
dirty.
spacers out those back wheels.
So let's talk
They put
about
them in there in transport. You better make sure you do that.
I
the
did that.
the inspiration behind your car wrap because it's unique. I've never really seen this.
It's like the same inspiration that I'm sure Salvador Dali had in many of his paintings.
Yeah. So what made you now a bright white Hellcat is already a little bit of hey, look at
Yeah,
me.
see, well, I'm not into bright white cars. I just wanted to get a white car just for the reason I'm putting this wrap on in particular.
White
car. I know why you got
I had a white BMW before and I hated it.
Yeah,
I felt like a.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
basic bitch.
No, I was going to say something racist. But
What was that going to be?
I don't know.
Don't
Usually
even
Middle
say it.
Easterners drive white BMWs.
Oh, okay. Didn't
I-
even see
Is
that
That
coming.
is that?
You know what?
Yeah,
that's a
that's a
new piece of racist knowledge. I
I
didn't
did not
know.
know.
That's why I'm here to help you guys out.
I didn't know
Write
that,
that
one.
down.
I had no clue of anything like that.
Mostly
in fact, I know
like Persians. It's a Persian.
I have
Rich
a lot
Persians.
of
Rich
Middle
Persians
Eastern
drive-
friends, and
They know
none
Jer-
of them have white cars.
They love
white BMWs.
White BMW. So,
gold with gold stuff.
Persian, Xerxes. in
So-
the
Yeah,
white BMW.
exactly.
so this particular wrap, let's can you explain to the audience what it looks like for those who haven't seen it on your Facebook or
It looks like
know.
you hit somebody. Basically, there's blood splattered all over the car. I guess.
So it's not really it's more of a bloodbath on the front.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It's a lot of blood.
It's all
It's soaked a little
your
bit.
whole
See, my
front
thinking,
hood.
my
The
thinking
family.
was, okay, look, it's a Hellcat. It's from hell. It's a red eye, so it's even more evil. So
all
it
right, yeah,
eats people.
Oh.
It runs things over, and it just.
I feel like I feel like you're Tommy explaining to me one of his drawings.
That's how
He's like, this is Tiger, this is the blood, he's beyond.
No, Tommy, cool.
He's like, I have eyelashes, and this is Daddy. This is Donald.
Yeah. So,
That's kinda how I feel.
so the inspiration is
I've always
your
had big toys.
White
for
car, he got blood all over, and it's eating all the people.
That's why when I had the Hummer, I wanted like a big Tonka truck because I don't know, it was like
Me
a big
like
Tonka truck.
Tonka, dig in the sandbox. Uh-oh. I ain't gonna poop. I ain't gonna poop.
So this, okay. So just envision this, audience. So for those of you who haven't seen it, you can go on Seth's Facebook page.
I mean,
and
I
Well,
look
no,
at
no,
it.
it's on my Insta now.
Oh, it's on his
It has its own,
Instagram.
it
What's
has
your
its own
Instagram?
Instagram. You want my new one?
Oh,
You got a new one.
I have one for my car.
It's at
Oh,
what?
my
that- is that the
God, you're
Instagram?
that guy?
Okay, what's your car's name?
No, no.
car's name is.
Bad cat with 2 T's.
No. I hate
797 because it's 797 horsepower.
Bad cat.
Bad cat with 2 T's. 797.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
This is your car's Instagram.
Okay.
That's
Well, I didn't want to bore
you have
my
the
normal
Instagram sticker?
fans and
Hold
stuff
on,
on my
hold on.
Instagram with my car pictures. I thought it was tacky, so I
Bad
did it more
cat,
tacky.
797.
do you have any followers?
Yeah, I got over 100 so far.
Oh,
Like, in a
Oh, I
couple
can't. Hold
days.
on, I can't find.
If
Okay.
it, for any of you who follow that,
Wait,
that's a tell.
I'm trying to find it. It didn't come up on just. Oh, is it Instagram? Hold on.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
Yeah, no, we don't usually use it from a computer.
Just want to give people enough time to
Bad cat
see
with two
it
T's.
because
Yeah, I put 2 T's.
What does it say?
BADCATT.
Yeah. 797.
797 at. Maybe I killed the ad. Hold on, let's try.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh,
okay,
there you go,
here we
there
go.
you go, there you go.
I'll put it up so
Oh,
everybody
there
can
it
see.
is.
Now you guys can. Jump on. There it is.
That's what I looked
Oh,
at.
and then I put my old one that I still had on there too. That was the beginning.
Yeah, you got to put the old one. You know, I feel
That's
like
my
this
God.
this
I turned
picture
on-
right here, the bottom one, that's very aggressive. A lot of blood on that
Yeah, yeah, a
one.
lot
This
of
one
blood.
right here, very very gory.
So, it's, I'm sure your business is good for like attention.
Oh, this is for my business. This is a gym. This is a gym vehicle.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, right. Like when people see that, they're like, "Oh, that's the Seth." And
Well, because there's a gorilla. It's my gym logo in the back. The gorilla is
yeah.
the gym logo.
And then all the blood. Now,
Well, yeah.
me and Daniel saw this on Monday, and I did tell Daniel, I was like, hey, look at this. Seth's car is going to be on a Friday. Maybe warn a song. And then
no.
and this is literally
This is a 35-second special.
yesterday when I left yesterday, I left early, and Daniel's like, I didn't get the song done, but I'll get it done tomorrow.
I didn't have an idea,
and I was like,
I didn't know what I wanted to do.
yeah, and I was like,
What's there to do? It's just a normal. It's a nice car that.
It's a very nice car.
don't worry about it. It's all good. But Daniel came through this morning, and when I
tried.
walked in the door, he was already done with it.
Yeah, I just finished right when
Yeah.
you. Boop, boop, I heard the buttons going. I knew Tom was coming in. I just mixed it.
And so this is in honor
People are liking it.
of Bad Cat 797.
Yeah. Two T's.
T's.
Two T's.
With 2 T's on Instagram.
Also,
I wanna know
it's
who has the one
It's
titty.
also like titties, like 2 T's. I see what you're doing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't do
Well,
that on
somebody
purpose.
thought when I said 797, they're like, why'd you put your age, but you were born on there? I was like, God damn it, 79. I was born in 79, so I was like,
I didn't
I
think
didn't think
about
about that.
So maybe we can add this to your Instagram page.
Okay.
Your car has a personalized song.
Yeah, and you wanted a new intro, so you
I
ready?
didn't want anything. I didn't want any.
Well, here we go. Sometimes the things you want the most are the things that you didn't want the most.
Here's the Bad Cat.
Here we go.
Car look like tampon. What? Car look like tampon. Ha! Me car look like tampon. Me car look like tampon. Heading to the dealership to get another douche bro whip. They had a Hellcat in the color white. Let's put bloodstains all over it and the string from a kite because me car look like tampon. Ha! Me car look like tampon. The teens really like the horsepower. We got cameras in the drains of my shower.
Oh my god.
Most people like to call this a car. Me don't. Me call my Hellcat a vampire cigar because me car look like tampon. What? Me car look like a tampon. Ha! Me car look like tampon. Me car look like a tampon.
God damn.
Wait for it.
Karate.
No, I liked it until you added that in there, man.
Now,
Sounded like
You don't have to
Cookie
bring
Monster
my
singing.
good stuff into it.
now, I
Karate
just,
is important,
to
all of us.
based on Daniel's song, did you ever think
Right.
for 1 second, like, hey, white car?
When you said, I didn't
bloodstained
think.
front?
To be quite honest, I didn't think about it until I go, "Hey, did you see Seth's car?" And Tom just with no flinch, he's like, "You mean the tampon?" He was like, "Cacao."
No, besides, I did actually think of a car. I did ask my girlfriend, like, do you think it looks like a tampon?
I had so many lines. I had
Of
a
course
whole.
it
Whatever,
does.
I'm down with
The
Like
other
I haven't started my period.
I've
yet.
had my.
Joke of the day. Thank you, Samantha.
Pizza party!
That's a piece of
That's a pizza party.
But I mean, I've had my Red Wings for a while, so. It's
Oh my god!
damn it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
That's exactly what your car would say.
And I'm glad you got Animal to sing that from the Muppets. That's great.
No, that's Cookie Monster.
That's Cookie Monster. That was Animal had sex with Cookie Monster's son.
All right.
A vampire cigar? What the fuck is that?
I don't know, but it made me laugh.
A vampire cigar.
Blah,
blah.
That's Daniel's old dad joke.
Humanoid.com.
That was Daniel's dad.
I like that plug.
Yeah, he typically. Oh, wow. I like that plug. I bet you do.
Yeah.
2 pizza parties.
Yeah, it's like it's so many parties.
So, a couple things. Last night,
You gonna get serious, bro?
No.
Last night, I got AIDS.
Let's serve him right.
It was the Grizz came into town, and his wife and his sons haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
So he was staying with us for the past
He
couple
makes
days.
cute kids, man. Those
does.
kids are adorable.
And I started yelling him about something. I'll tell you in a minute. But first, it was Tommy's 100th day of school or
this
today.
dumb thing.
Yeah, and I didn't know this was a thing.
You dress up like an old man, right?
When did they start doing this at school?
I don't know, but they do a lot of these things, and
Yeah.
I think the
It's like theme days.
Yeah. And so for his 100th day of school, he had to decorate a white T-shirt with 100
Blood.
all
over it.
100 of something. So he
Nerdcat 797.
100 of something.
Yeah.
Like, what, glue 100 macaroni?
something like
I
that.
thought, because I know a lot of kids are dressing up like they're 100 years old. That's what I thought.
Oh,
you were
is
going
that?
with.
Yeah, that's why I kept saying, like, I've seen.
Did I get it wrong?
Oh my God! What did you send your son to school
His
in?
son's covered in macaroni, and all the other kids are dressed old. And he's
Dude,
That
Did you
nerd's
fuck
got
it up?
macaroni suit on. Get him!
did you fuck it up?
There's a bunch of kids dressed like old people beating up a macaroni suit.
They're punching his macaroni out. He's like, my dad told me.
You're punching my rigatoni.
I don't know. This is what my wife told me. Like, he's got to do the. So,
Oh my God.
So I was put in charge last night.
Wait, is Seth still bullying him? Is that still open? Is that still
I
fair
think,
game?
oh yeah. So
Remember we
he actually
remember the Tommy?
he actually got a new pair of glasses. Because he had little kid glasses, the ones with like a band for a long time, and they were small. So as he grew now
they're adult nerd glasses.
Like his glasses were too small, like a tiny little Benjamin Franklin's. and then everybody, and they were like $300, and then everybody's like,
You gotta go to
he's
Jenny.
got baby's glasses on. Get him to adult. And I'm like, they're $300.
We don't want to play with you. You're writing your almanac.
You're macaroni Benjamin Franklin. Get him.
Did the glasses get thicker, or did they get more powerful?
They are.
Is his eyes getting worse? Or?
No.
Don't invite him. That's Ben Roney.
We're in a whole vision therapy thing now.
Vision therapy.
That's a whole thing. It's
Man.
It's a new racket. I paid as much as my old boat for vision therapy.
Oh my God.
Shoot it with the dog laser. And
I know it's a
lie.
lie. They ushered us into the finance room where they have the candles.
Candles. Oh my God.
I had a doctor
We're about
saying,
to
like,
fuck you real hard.
if you don't do this, you could have like a permanent lazy eye. Or they scare my wife, and she's like, "Oh no, can't have that." I'm like, all I'm waiting for is like, where?
They kind of prey on your fear.
And then they're like, "Now, please, see,
Lazy would be hilarious.
Laser just gives him some character.
see Susie from finance," and we're sitting there. It's like a dark room.
Does it make you feel weird if you go in to see?
Here's the number of what you like.
Oh my
Does
God.
it make
If
you
you
feel?
pay all at once, it's a discount. It's like, oh yeah, I bet there is.
Is it weird if you go into finance and Susie slides the paper over and she's got a lazy eye and you're like, wait a minute, you know?
She's kind of hot though. Besides that,
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
like, you didn't do it.
Anyway, so he decided to do 100 dots of those paint things like Crayola makes that like a dot
stamp. Yeah.
Those are for bingo. Old ladies use them.
Yeah. But
Nothing like 100 sticks, though.
yeah.
Oh, you should have done 100 sticks.
So we have in our art table like 10 different colors of these dot sticks, and so he's like, "I'm gonna put 100 dots on the shirt in different colors." So I'm like, "Okay." Now, meanwhile, I don't see my friends too often, my Miami friends, and the Grizz lives up north now somewhere. Don't know, but Virginia, I think. So then he I wanted to get it over with. I was like, "All right, 100 dots," and then Tommy's like, "All right." Takes the cap off one.
Oh, he's so
One.
slow.
Puts the cap back on. And then, of course, all right, cap back on. Green. 2. I'm like, no! and then my wife yells at me anytime like I get frustrated.
What's she doing while you're stamping colors?
Well, she's doing
she's
one
cooking.
dot of wine on my tongue.
Before
2 dots of wine on my tongue.
Well, before this, she was doing all the kid
Look
duty.
at Seth's Instagram.
And while I was
click my mouse.
talking to Grizz about old times, drinking
so it's your
some
turn.
beers. Yeah. So
Yeah.
she said,
so
like, you gotta
basically,
do
beers and same old stories.
Yeah. I was doing beers and same old stories for most of the day,
Yeah,
and then she's like, you got to do this project.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I got that one too with our what is it? We did a shadow box for dolphins.
Oh yeah,
That's fun. Yeah, I did the whole thing.
So he's going
It's
so
just faster that way.
painstakingly slow on this
Did
dots.
you ask
right?
him like, let Daddy help you, and just start?
I want to
Double fist.
yeah. But
Daddy's
I
good
couldn't
at this.
fucking do it.
Watch Daddy.
This is why I can't have kids. I don't have the
You
patience
should have made
for
him
it.
to a shape of a nice big pair of tits on the shirt. Just 100 tits.
I
Look
want
at his
him.
macaroni tits.
So he did start going a little bit faster, but it was like 2, cap on 3. And so I'm not
Leave
joking.
him alone.
Maybe you couldn't see the cap to put it back on.
I had to pee really bad. So we're at 87, right?
Pee
And,
break.
and then I'm like, Tommy, take a break for a second.
Just keep going while I pee.
No,
No.
you don't want to lose count.
Because it was my wife's like, it's important that he has exactly 100, right? Because
You're
it's
telling me that the
the
teacher's
teacher's
going to
gonna do
count
that?
every kid's
Bullshit.
fucking shirt.
Not
No
gonna
way.
happen.
Well, in my mind,
No way.
I was afraid. So okay, I went
don't
and
have time to
peed,
do that
No.
shit.
and then when I came back, he was like 89. I was like, wait a minute, we were at 87. I was rehearsing it
Now
in my
you
mind,
gotta
like
count
87. And then he's like, yeah, but I think I did 89. I was like, no.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I'm
Now you
looking
know how
at
Samantha feels.
Yeah.
My God, you were playing the part of Samantha. You're like, whoa, where are we at here? And you're like, when I went to go pee and I used the slider so you don't walk in on me,
Right.
and I'm peeing and I come back and you were on 87, now you're on 89, but I was gone for 5 minutes. So this
So he
something's
doesn't
fucked
know?
up here. It's not on the calendar. It's not on the calendar.
You should have spanked him and sent him to bed with no food. That's what I would have
Wow.
done.
so I was like, wait a minute, stop. And then I was like,
Kid doesn't know shit.
now I'm not exactly sober at this point. I'm embarrassed to admit
Well,
it.
we're
but,
never exactly sober.
The
When
grade of
are
the
we?
town,
I'm embarrassed to admit it.
I got a couple third gels or whatever, like a White Claw Grizz. It's a
Couple.
party. And,
It's a party. You're doing homework with your
I'm
child.
not
Yeah, it's
wasted
a
in front of my kids, but
Such a
I didn't know
scumbag.
what the thing. So anyway, then I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me just count them real quick because I'm paranoid now.
Yeah, but you can count.
Well, I can count, but I'm paranoid that the teacher is going to be like,
No.
there's 98 of these.
No way.
Cut his feet
Steve.
off. It doesn't
Well,
work.
it's like, and everybody else is dressed like an old person. What is this?
Why do you have all these dots on
And you
your
only have
shirt?
98 dots. You didn't even get that right.
Thanks so much today for our all of our old people that dressed up and to 98 Dots Man.
Me and my wife are ultra paranoid that our indiscrepancies and bumbling.
We are very concerned about the indiscrepancies of our son in the 99 dot.
And it affecting our child's school and because
You don't wanna-
the vans,
Yeah.
the vans.
I know the
Yeah,
vans,
yeah. So anyway, I was like, fuck it, I'll just count them real quick. And then I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm like, oh shit, because they're random. They're not in a goddamn row, so
Yeah.
I can go row to row.
Oh my God.
And then I'm like, fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm not shitting
How
you.
long did you count the shirt?
I got to I was like
2 hours later.
88. I counted 88
7
after
hours
like
later.
about 20 minutes. And then I was
Oh
like,
my God, 20 minutes to count to 88?
the problem was I couldn't I was putting my arms above the
Okay,
ones that
so
didn't count and trying to
Look, Tom, you're a logical man.
Yeah.
If it was that hard for you to count those random dots, you think a fucking teacher's going to do that?
Well,
With all the other kids, they got You're
after
insane.
20 minutes, then I started to think that myself. I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, you got. Well, you
but
got
I'm
more
paranoid
high.
that they're going
The
to be
key
like,
is he wasn't sober, so he wasn't thinking straight. He wasn't thinking logically.
got
He was
more-
just
double.
like,
As
But
you got
yeah,
more
he's-
There
high.
was actually like
Yeah,
44
there was 44. I was
dots.
just thinking. There was 44 dots, and he's like,
88.
As
No.
he got more high, he cared less, which is what happens. I mean, you get paranoid. Like, that's how the paranoia works. You get
I just-
paranoid, and then you
yeah.
go,
That's not gonna happen.
so
then you're all right.
Then I went back to arguing with the Grizz, and I'll explain my new theory that I have.
Why are you arguing with one of your best friends?
Because that's what we do. And so I have this theory, and tell me if you guys agree.
Okay.
So My theory is all groups of friends, right? You hang out with people, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And as an adult, everybody has different careers, right? Sometimes you work with the people you're friends with and you have the same career, but most of the time, all your friends have different jobs and they're this person, that person, whatever. But to me, it's up to all friends to bring some sort of advantage of their careers or some sort of thing it's based on their career.
You bring a gift
to the table of friendship for everybody to enjoy. You see what I'm saying?
That's pretty shallow.
Yeah,
very
I'm not
shallow.
sure
But
I
okay.
understand.
So do all of us, if we were to consider ourselves friends, which I would say we all
yeah.
consider ourselves friends,
Yes.
we should all bring, we should take our profession, and then
And
whatever
then
we do.
our friends should benefit from our profession. That's all I'm saying. It's like
That doesn't sound like a friend.
So
That
you're
sounds
a
like
friend,
you're
I'm a
using
friend.
me.
All of these people benefit from us.
Yes.
How?
Yeah. Well, I made the argument because that's what the Grizz said. You never gave me shit. We're arguing back and forth. And then I was like, I have brought funny stories, humor to
levity,
multiple trips. We've all the gathering stuff. Like I usually tell a funny story to you guys, make you laugh. That's what I do for a living.
There's some hijinks involved, an adventure maybe.
You know, back in the radio days, endless tickets to
you wanna watch
concerts.
Gravedigger?
All these tickets.
Gotcha.
So I've done my part. Bringing my career to Friendshipville. That's what I'm calling it.
Friendshipville.
Right? And then I started yelling that all my Miami friends have fucked me, and the only ones that have brought their career to Friendshipville are Fernando and Pudge, who were the GMs.
Those are the last two people I expected for you to say that
I always
bring
have faith
some.
in Pudge.
Well, always faith in Pudge, but never faith in Fernando.
They were GMs of a sports grill down in Miami, and then always bring wings to the party. So every time we'd go down to Miami, they usually would show up after their shift.
What's the style I like?
And Dale's.
Dale's.
They bring wings, and then we
Fucking
cook them,
good.
and so I'd enjoy their wings, and I tip my hat to them. I'm like, thanks for bringing your career to Friendshipville. I'm enjoying your wings. You know, they get it for free. And
Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Pudge.
Yeah, but then
you know, somebody in the Twitch chat is making a very valid point here. Instead of Friendshipville, this just sounds like grifting. This is Griftville from your friends.
No, this is
Griftville is a completely different area.
Okay, so
and it's Griftburg.
I'll even give Seth credit for bringing his career to Friendshipville because
what's he bringing to
he
the
can
table?
get well. If I was fighting still, he can get all the side pussy from me.
I've never heard of side pussy before.
But I don't know if that works.
That's weird.
Yeah,
just being around you and the girls flocking. Like,
Just
I
me
feel
being-
like
it worked the other way too. Like when Tom was fighting, and
I really
want
want to fuck this fighter, but I'll definitely fuck Pudge now.
I don't know if it works like that.
I don't think the girls will look at you and they're like, I want to fuck you, and they're like, I'll
Well,
settle
not
for
the
the
main-
fat dad
not
next
the
time.
main-
Oh my God, I'll suck your big veiner.
Yeah, not the main hot girl, but the other the other ones that are like down on the totem pole. They go for the
base.
ones
So
on
they
the
can. All right.
I'll suck your big veiner, or I'll suck your red inflamed.
Well,
Well, what does he
Discord
bring
cock.
now? His tampon card?
Yeah, we can cruise
I don't want to ride in that.
cruise the steps.
Two things. One,
You can work at my gym anytime you want, Samantha.
For free?
I've worked
Yeah,
out for
you've always
free.
been working
Shit.
for free.
Wow. You don't want to ride the Cotton Lightning?
Seth let me work out his gym for free, and just walking around with Seth, I know nobody could ever beat me up because Seth can beat
But
up.
when do you ever walk around with Seth?
I don't, but
Okay.
if
I invite him tons, but he doesn't.
if I
Yeah.
ever
Not a good
do,
friend.
Seth and I talked about that this week.
Yeah,
I
if
thanked
you're
him
with-
for being at the foot golf and everything, and he said even though we don't hang out a lot, I consider you guys good friends. And I feel the same way about him. Like I consider him a very good friend.
I had to add in his name after I was done typing. I was like,
Tom's?
I should add in Tom's name to this.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Or
No,
Daniel
you-
goes to your birthday party and everything.
Why didn't you go?
I couldn't. I have things to
he's-
do.
you
I'm a
didn't-
busy
you
man.
had
He had
Nothing
nothing to do.
He
at
came to
all.
my birthday party. Just saying.
But he didn't go
We're
to your
real
wedding.
friends.
He didn't go to
did
your
not
wedding.
go to my
Yeah,
wedding.
I didn't-
I went to everything.
Because I didn't have anything to offer him at the time. That's why.
Yeah,
no,
he
no.
only uses people. You're right.
How dare you?
Opportunist.
No, you're supposed to hook your friends up with stuff.
What does Butler bring to
What do I
Friendshipville?
get out of this?
Beer.
Nut butter and toilet supplies.
All right.
Yeah,
Toilet
yeah.
supplies.
Nut butter.
Butter.
So I
Nut butter.
Nut butter.
So I was yelling at the Grizz because, so my buddy Joe's a firefighter, right?
Yeah.
And the only two things that he's done, he's ruined it. One, he got a bunch of IV bags one time from his job, and we went scalloping in Homosassa, and then he convinced me, he's like, hey, get as drunk as you want. We'll give you an IV and a hydrate you. You'll never be hungover. I was like, great, this is awesome. So he had a bunch of IV bags, but the problem is, I was like, he's like, you got to do it while you're at the height of drunkenness. That way, when you go to sleep the next day, you're hydrated.
Like
you know
wear off.
Yeah. So, but he was at the height of drunkenness. So he's stabbing my arm, bleeding everywhere. Me and Turkey Leg, he's stabbing. He couldn't find the vein. He was too shit-faced, and then blood everywhere. And then he's like, I can't do it. And I'm like, God damn it. Then we saw an accident by my house, and I was with him, and I was like, oh shit, there was like
that's when the ice cream was melting in the side of your Volvo.
There was a car on fire, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm with a hero. And then I'm like, I got it, I'm a hero here. And he's like, fuck. And then I'm like, go out there.
Coming through, hero.
And
hero,
all he
all
did, he just walked in, and there was a lady with her femur broken, and then he looks in, he's like, are you all right? And he's like, and she's like, ah.
My femur's broke.
He's like, all right, she's stable. Then the drunk driver that hit the lady is rolling in the grass, and then he's like, you good, bro? And he's like, oh, he's drunk. Let's wait for the firefighters. Like, that's it. That's all you did.
What do you want him to do?
I don't know.
Tourniquet.
He's a paramedic.
He doesn't have anything with him, though.
I know, but I wanted him to do something in front of me. What's the point?
I mean, I guess like whip it out and just start peeing on the fire.
Yeah.
Or
Turkey Leg, a Harley mechanic, never fixed shit.
Go somewhere else.
I don't believe.
Never even fixed.
You don't have a Harley.
I know, but no engines.
I don't believe that Turkey Leg, not to pile on, but I've never seen him fix anything. I've never seen him ride a motorcycle.
I don't believe he's a Harley mechanic.
I think that he gets up every morning. I hope he's listening to this. And I think he goes and he cheats on his family with another woman.
Oh my God.
That's what I think he does.
I've never.
I think that's what I think he lives a double life. I think when he says he's a Harley mechanic, I think he lives a double life with a whole nother family, and then he comes back and then he lives with family A and family B. And I think because I've never seen or heard.
He's never fixed anything.
He's never
that
thrown some knowledge around.
Nothing.
He's never talked to me about like motorcycles or how the engines work or none of that.
Yeah, it's so. And then I got another friend. He's like an environmental scientist. He knows about botany.
Well, what does that mean?
Well,
the environment's almost destroyed, so your job's almost done.
Who gives a shit about that now?
He used to grow weed in college.
Yeah, we're beyond the environment now. It's dead.
And now weed's free. So what? It's legal. Anyway, so I just think that all people should look at their careers and
so
see
you
what
and I bring humor. Seth brings side pussy.
Fitness.
Fitness and side pussy. Butler brings beer. Samantha brings
her engineering skills, editing skills,
organizational skills.
But that's just to you. What about my other friends?
Well,
they don't give a fuck about.
You warn them about potentially getting murdered. I feel like
girls are different.
You're very paranoid about getting.
You bring safety.
Oh, by the way, don't do that. You're gonna get murdered. You probably save lives.
Speaking of,
girls just bring like.
Somebody left the back door unlocked at the studio, and Her Majesty's Services had to tell us about it. So we could have got murdered today.
The back door was open, huh?
Yeah. I blame Butler for that.
This dovetails before we get a break. This dovetails into something. Today is National Compliment Day, so I wrote compliments for everybody on the show. Apologies,
backhanded.
I didn't
backhanded compliment.
No, I didn't write a compliment for you
figure.
because I wrote you a song.
But you wrote a badass song. That's cool.
I wrote a song for you. I wrote compliments for Sam and for Tom and for Butler because it is National Compliment Day. So here is Sam's compliment. Sam, are you ready?
Yes.
You have the biggest and the most well-rounded ideas. Mm-hmm. And your points are the absolute best. You have the nicest points I've ever seen. And I don't think there's a person in here that wouldn't like to see your points unleashed and not confined by anything. Let's all celebrate Samantha's points.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Tom, your compliment. Tom, your ability to do so much damage to our company is both concerning and infuriating. So there's yours.
Why is that a compliment?
There's your, and Travis.
Why? Hold on.
Travis's compliment. I like your shirt. Okay, there you go.
That's it.
That's it. There's a National Compliment Day.
It's kind of like a compliment sandwich.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Something nice, something bad, something nice. It's a sandwich.
So one last thing too, and I was we're gonna talk about Amanda Knox coming up, but I'll bring this up because I was talking to the Grizz about this morning. So remember
Amanda Knox?
Well, because the story that you were going to talk about reminded me about how, like, this is in Italy. The justice system fucked her. But we talked about it, like, earlier on in ACT. And I was like, do people still get wrongly convicted or whatever?
Yeah.
And I was like, it seems like it shouldn't happen as much anymore because of technology and stuff. But I forgot how inept the justice system and the government, how flawed everything is.
Or backed up. Or, crowded.
And simple mistakes could ruin people's lives.
Overworked.
So I've talked about this on the show before, but back in the day when we were in college, the Grizz got his brother's boat up here. It was like a 14-foot Bonita, the ski boat that we sunk in Lake Toho down in Kissimmee. I've told the whole story.
Yeah.
Anyway, then after he sunk it, the lake cops came and like pulled it out. Then there's beer, but so the Grizz ended up getting a $50 boating without a license ticket. So if you're under 21 and you don't have a boating license, you cannot operate a boating vehicle without the online course. So it's easy to get, but we didn't know shit about that. Yeah. So anyway, and of course he didn't pay it. He get arrested in Gainesville. The
That's
whole story.
Not good. Yeah.
So then he went off to the military, whatever. Then like 10 years later, he was trying to get clearance for something, and then the government was giving him background checks.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you can't get clearance for this because it turns out you have a felony on your record. Yeah, it says here you've been arrested for a felony, right? Because they accidentally typed it in that his failure to appear was a felony arrest.
Okay.
It was just literally for a failure to appear for a $50 boat ticket, right?
Yeah.
But they put it down as a felony arrest. So then he spent the next 2 years with attorneys and trying to get it that felony taken off his record because it wasn't real. It wasn't correct.
Yeah, it wasn't right.
And so finally he got the felony taken off his record because they're like, I'm sorry, whatever. But it took he said he had to pay a lawyer $2,500 to go to court to go fill out the proper paperwork, whatever. So then he's like, all right, finally, this nightmare has been 10 years, since college. One fucking boating ticket has caused all this trouble.
But we got it done.
Yeah, he's got it done. So he wanted some extra money because he's in reserves right now. But you could offer to work for the census as and get paid.
We actually have that's going to be next week's Weird Job Wednesday, I think.
Census work.
Yeah.
So
cool.
If you're a reservist, I guess maybe they are. I don't know how. I didn't ask him how he even came up with that, but I think it's somewhere they offered it to him since he's in the reserves. Who knows? So then the census gives background checks, right? And then they look there and they're like, well, this is weird. It says here you have a misdemeanor charge. And then this is what it said next to his charge. Literally, his misdemeanor was for illegally trapping or molesting an endangered species. So he's like, what the fuck is that? And he's like,
wait a minute, that's you.
And no. And also, they just, whatever happened with that boating ticket when they went back to change shit, they somehow marked the wrong box or something to illegally molesting or trapping an endangered species.
So that's how easy it is to get fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's because of government.
And so he called Osceola County, and
God.
he's like, and the lady's like, she's like, wow, this happened. I've seen this before. He's like, what? And she's like, I don't know how this happens, but yeah, the only way to fix it would be you have to get a request a court date, get in front of a judge, fly back down here.
That's
lives in Virginia.
It's a fucking money scam.
Yeah.
But
By the goddamn government.
What I said, I was like, that sounds worse than just being arrested for a felony, because now what kind of person illegally traps or molests an endangered species?
Not endangered, but we got caught for lobsters, illegal, small lobsters. We got busted for that.
Yeah. Well, that's a little bit different. That
we
could
were
be
told something.
That could be
We're fishing off a man-made.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like Grizz was trapping monkeys
Yes.
and then butt fucking them. That's what I'm hearing.
Endangered monkeys.
Endangered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like
And
he's what are those macaques?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
He's got a couple of macaques,
Those are
and he's
pretty
been really just getting at them.
I was like, well,
whipping them.
If I was
starving them.
Yeah, if I was an employer and I saw this, it sounds worse than
terrible.
the other one.
It sounds like you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, what are you doing?
Why are you molesting animals? You're an insane person.
Like you caught a bald eagle and you're whipping it. Like what kind of animal?
Well, I wasn't whipping it. I was just putting a lighter under its feet.
And I was like, God damn. So then it reminded me that this probably happens to a lot of people, and our system's if it is just as easy to like someone checking the wrong box, like if there's not a better system than that, like someone
it's
could.
It's just humans.
Yeah, I know. That is bad.
Scary.
Yeah.
Very, very scary. So what's he going to do?
Well, he said it's not even worth after 5 years, and it's been 5 years, you don't have to disclose misdemeanors. So he's like, it's just going to be in my record forever because I'll never have the time to do all this and fly down.
Can he still do the census thing, or?
Yeah, because it's not a felony, then But I told him, I was like,
still
why do you
think
want to?
he's like a
Yeah,
it would bother me. Yeah, that would really, really bother me.
Because if you see that, you think differently of a person.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because you're like, what did you do?
I don't know if I'd be able to do that.
Species?
If I was him, I'd just come up with an elaborate.
Manatee.
I would just come up with an elaborate story where he got set up, where he was trying to free a manatee that was getting molested from an evil guy, and he got caught in the process thinking it was him. And so I would just come up with some crazy ass story.
Why don't you
that's
just
how
say,
they think you're crazy.
Tell the truth.
So get this, me and Spider-Man, we were fighting Killer Croc.
And they're pretending to write something down. They're shaking their head and just looking at the exit, like, where can I get out of here?
I live in a cardboard box.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Seth's got some news.
Yeah,
we got some voicemails and emails.
Right now, we got new music from Fairmont. They did an album called "Songs from the Radio." This is "God Only Knows" from the Beach Boys. Such a great song. This is their take. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Our show at tomanddan.com to get your emails in. We'll be right back.
I got his card. I want to see.
Butler, I will give you your blue mic.
This looks bubbly.
I'm going to give you some reverb here, and here you are.
All right. All right, cheers to surviving this winter blast. Sure as hell won't be our last. Next time you call Dan, here's an advisory. How do I podcast? Go to the fucking library. Rock and roll 90210.
All right.
Yeah. Cheers. All right, I like that. Let me get my shot. Yeah. Go to the... Look, if you want to do a podcast... Hold on, let me do my shot.
That's good.
Go to the fucking library. They have...
My God, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
If you want to do anything in media...
They have
photography,
at
videos.
least 10 different podcasting studios that you can go to. We recorded in the main room. You'll hear it. It sounds really big because
Melrose Center, yeah.
In the Melrose Center, we recorded in their main band
audio recording studio.
Yeah, it's a professional. I mean, it's like where you would record a hit record, and you can go in there with your band and record. We recorded a podcast in there, so it sounds real big. But they have little isolated booths where you can do just voiceovers for movies what do you want to do? Photography? You want to 3D print? You want to do sewing? You want to learn how to
full TV production, video
screen,
production, green screen,
black magic,
all free,
4.6K.
They'll teach you.
You can do 3D printing.
They'll teach you how to do it.
They'll teach you, and you could use their facilities.
Because I was going to say, because I have lots of podcast equipment for sale. If you guys want to,
what do you got?
$4,000.
Why would you
saw
even? If you lived in Orange County, because
$35.
It's the Orange County Library System, and we're very lucky to be, using them, or working with them. They're a sponsor now. But what's crazy about that? I was talking to Jim Phillips about this last night. Jim and I were texting back and forth, and I said, "Have you been to the Melrose Center?" And he goes, "No, I haven't been there, but I know about it." I said, "Have you seen their podcasting studio and all that they have?" I go, because he at one point had asked me, about equipment. I said, no one needs equipment. Just get your library card, go through their track, and get their education, and you will have the best equipment at your fingertips for free.
Listen to Monday's ACT because we went and recorded a show there, and we talked to the director about all this, but it really did blow my mind. I couldn't believe. I was like, wait a minute, this is a
we didn't even talk about simulators.
Recording studio, the simulators. But I'm like, you could just come in here with your band, and they'll teach you how to record professionally. And,
with two engineers that will teach you all the shit you need to know.
And they're like, yeah, as long as you go through the course, which is free, if you're an Orange County
Free.
resident, library
All
card.
free.
Even if
I
you're-
told my husband this. He was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, no,
I can record there for free. I'm like, just got to get a library card.
Yeah.
And
then
well,
if you're
that's
outside,
gonna happen, like I'm gifting everybody that's like
I'm not getting a library card.
part of this. I'm gifting everybody library cards because this place is fucking
Guess
phenomenal.
what? Those also free.
Yeah. And if you're out,
well, if you're
not
in
an
Seminole, it's still
Right.
cheap.
it's like
I think-
$25 an hour.
Well, you have to buy a Melrose card, and it's like you go 3 months is $75. I think $100 gets you 6 months, and then like $125 gets you like a year. But you use all of that to get the free classes, and then like let's say you wanted to do it and you lived in Seminole and it wasn't free, it would only be $25
Yeah.
or
For a session.
$25 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, like it's ridiculous.
It was
dude.
amazing. And anyway, listen to Monday's ACT. You hear all about it. So, all right. Do you want to go into Seth's news?
Yeah. Let's do a little
Oh,
news.
before news, this is what I want to talk to you. So, Seth, you finally got your medical marijuana card, huh?
I got it like
Oh yeah.
Because
a month ago.
Seth, we've talked about this a lot. You have some anxiety, really more hypochondria that does,
I got it.
yeah.
I'm dealing with a little
my
bit
life
today.
is my life is stressful.
and a lot of people.
I've been dealing with it today. I've been checking my doo-doos. In fact, during the break, I
dude.
shit, and then I picked my shit up with a handful of toilet paper, and I was
I
looking at it.
shit you not, no pun intended, that 2 days ago I shit in the toilet. I had shirataki noodles the day before, and I forgot. I shit looked like worms coming out of my butt.
Oh,
Like,
you sure you don't have worms?
I thought, no, well, that's why I checked. I took
Yeah.
I took an old scope bottle from the trash,
No.
cut it into a shovel-like thing,
That's my boy.
scooped it, looked real close. I'm like,
That's-
is that a shirataki noodle or is that worms in my ass? And I looked,
Wait, that's the new game show we're doing next segment. Is worms or shirataki?
and I came to the conclusion that it kind of looked like a shirataki. They weren't moving or alive or anything. So I was
Well,
like,
they'll
it must
die.
Be,
They'll
it must
die.
be a shirataki. So
Well, your
I
stomach
dumped
acid
it
will
back
actually
in.
kill them.
Yeah.
I
Really?
hope your
Yeah.
girlfriend's like, my boyfriend scoops his doo-doo with a scope bottle every
My
day."
boyfriend scoops his noodle doo-doo and thinks it's worms.
I think
He's so hot.
I think the scope bottle's still sitting in the toilet.
Oh,
No, in the trash. In the trash.
Oh my
next
god!
to it.
I love it when you
That's
scoop
gross.
your worms. Let me suck your cock.
If you want rich,
But anyway,
rich
Christ.
buff guy
I'm just-
scoops his noodle doo-doo.
Noodle doo-doo.
Average Joe. It's, seems
I
like
was scared.
Too
I
much
got,
to take.
I got scared. But the next day was gone, so I was like, I must have been because
Scooping and pooping.
So Seth,
Pooping and scooping.
you don't
Yes,
drink alcohol that much, do you?
No. Well, if I do, I binge, which is not good.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I'll just go out. I'll go out with my friends. And
That's
just
why I
get
stay
shit-faced
consistent.
one night.
yeah.
you got to binge every
It's
night.
probably healthy.
You binge every night is fine.
Yeah,
It's definitely healthier to have 1 or 2 a night than 7 or 8 on the
Oh,
weekend.
I didn't know
good.
about that. Oh.
Not every weekend.
1,
like,
2, 3,
Wait,
4.
is it
what
bad
does
to
it
do?
go
Is it bad to do 8 a night?
I don't know. Probably.
All right.
Sounds bad.
Well, it depends.
It does depend.
Depends on what you're drinking too.
Do you not chew your noodles? Do they come out like full?
They're not
long
choodles. They're
You're still
noodles. You
on
swallow them.
You slurp and swallow your noodles?
They're kind of really skinny and they just go down. I don't know.
So, Seth, we've been talking about this for a while.
Now you got me
all of a
thinking
sudden.
it was worms now.
Just saying.
It probably was.
I mean, we have a bathroom here if you want to go scoop.
There's been nothing else.
Don't
since.
scoop your worms.
Yeah,
in
be
her.
our guest.
So
I got there's an old Myers soap bottle on the top that I'm trying to get the last out of it. You can cut the top off of that and do
Just
your
scooping?
scooping. Yeah.
So
I'm pro scoop.
I've been telling you for a while. I was like, go get your medical card, man. There's a
Yes.
lot of like products that like Certera offers that
Yeah.
are high CBD. That because you've told us in the past you've had bad experiences.
Very
with-
bad
You're
experiences.
you're like I say overdosing, but you can't overdose. But by overdosing, I mean you take so much that you have a panic attack.
I like
which
that.
can happen. That's the worst
I
that can
had
happen.
one
By the
last
way.
night. I was loving it.
You could take literally 10,000 milligrams, and the worst is gonna happen.
Last
to you is
night,
a
I
panic
kid you
attack
not.
for a while.
Last night, I
it'll
kid
be
you
a
not.
it'll be a
But then you might
extreme
not,
panic
you
attack.
go into a psychosis and then like have problems
Nah,
since.
you come
Yeah,
out.
That-
But I
that's the
looked at
news
my
bullshit.
Xbox controller and I go, "Is this a controller for Madden, or is this control my wife?" And I was like moving.
That's
it,
the worst that
But
can happen.
everything I was moving, she was doing in the kitchen,
No.
and I was like, "Hold on a second.
See,
See if I can make
that's
this
the thing I
happen."
was
Up, down, up, down.
Yeah, see if I can reprogram that X button.
So Seth, you went to the doctor.
Went to the doctor. I had my all my MRI, my 99 MRIs.
It's a lot. not.
Sent over to them because they asked for like some doctor stuff.
We got a truck that just pulled up. It's got a lot of documents inside.
Doesn't this guy know?
Dump it in the
Just tell
fucking-
me you have some anxiety sleeping problems. I'll give it to anybody.
I-
Even if you don't tell me that. I don't care. No one gets
Tell me
tired.
you got menstrual cramps.
I'm not even a real doctor.
I haven't practiced in years. I got back into it just for the money. Thank you.
I'm a gynecologist. Don't even know what a vagina looks like.
What you want? Anybody want weed? Here we go.
Weed. What's your age? I don't care. Who the fuck cares? It's weed.
So you went to the doctor,
What doctor, yeah.
with 99 MRIs.
90 MRIs
They-
and my migraine reports that he has from.
Did they
Migraine report.
Now,
Did
I
they
don't know if
study
this is-
them?
I don't
Did
know if
they
this is too far.
scrutinize?
Did your
Do you want me to tell the truth of what they
did
did?
your
with her?
girlfriend did your girlfriend get a card as well, or does she imbibe in any of that or no?
She didn't get her card. No.
Yeah.
You got to be 18 to get one of those.
I
You gotta be
thought-
21.
Wait, I was
You
going to
gotta
say,
be
21,
did
actually.
they change it to
Yeah,
21?
it's 21.
You gotta
So
be 21
thank
to
you.
smoke now.
Yeah.
So she just made it. Thank you very much.
Ah,
Fresh lungs, still got the wrappers on them.
But she's like, I'm
Well,
not
she
getting.
partakes. Yes.
I'm not getting medical marijuana like a grandpa with
What do I-
cancer.
I didn't fight in Vietnam. Okay, boomer.
she doesn't even know what Vietnam is.
So you
I know
you
what
got your card.
Vietnam's
Yeah,
is. That's
very.
a
I went in to
restaurant.
see the doctor, and the doctor. All the doctor says there is, it's just kind of like a education on the strands and like.
Hello there,
So do you
I'm
know
Dr.
what
Fake.
it indicates? Yeah.
Oh, they tell you all that.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, so do you know what indica is? You know what sativa is?
I
and
never
like,
got
yeah,
any of this, by the way, and I'm just being honest. Like when I went there,
It's
they're
all
like,
different.
how do you feel? You know, my first doctor.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you went.
I would.
How do you feel?
Me and Tom got
Oh, yeah.
screwed by that guy.
Mine didn't even look me in the eye.
Yeah,
He was
and
just
I
down
was
the paper all
like-
the time. You
I
know
was like-
indica, you know sativa. All right, come back in a year.
I was like, my back hurts. He was like, the government is telling people with cancer that they can't smoke this. It's out of control. I'll give you 1,000,000 milligrams.
Thank you, sir.
I'm like, and good day, sir.
But
Thank you.
by the way, I don't check mine, and I have no idea like how many milligrams are in each product or whatever. So I got scared because I've recently been buying quite a bit. And I last time I
Yeah,
went to
because they
Certera,
say things. They go like, "You've been dispensed." I'm like, "Doesn't matter. I got 1,000,000." Like, I
But
mean,
they give you
dispensed, you
17
I only used 2 grams. You gave me 1,000,000 grams.
they gave me 17,000, and I was like, wait a minute, like maybe I burned through a lot of this. Like,
Wait,
how
I
many-
didn't get any of that. I can go as much. That's not on my.
Yeah,
They
have
have
to.
to.
They have to.
I
give
didn't
you.
see that.
Yeah.
It's so
where
much
do you see
because
that? I
I
didn't-
asked. I was like, they're like, well, in 2 months you
You
got to
can
re-up.
log in.
And
I guess I
you have
never noticed.
10,000 more milligrams. I'm like, God damn! I'm like, I
Yeah.
only went through 7. Like it seemed like I
Yeah.
went through more than 17,000, but it's a lot.
I
Anyway.
barely even moved the mark on mine.
No.
So you got your medical marijuana,
Yes, yes,
and then you opted for the bud right off the bat.
Man,
right?
I wanted. I wanted to be right away cool.
So
No, I also got. Wait, did I get? No, because they don't have edibles in Florida, so you
They
can't.
have pills.
They
Yeah,
have
of course they
pills.
do.
Yeah,
Tablets.
pills. I don't.
Yeah, but
I don't like
what
the
do
idea of taking
you want
the
a
pill.
gummy bear? Like, no,
Why
get
do you
a
want that?
pill.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I take so many pills a day as it is. I don't want more pills.
It's just it's just THC that you swallow.
Yeah,
It's
but that's what fun is. That we're sitting around a fire.
What
I
fun is
wanna
that?
have
Sour Patch is fun for like what, 5.5 seconds?
it's
Like,
it's fun
Not
for
even.
babies, and I don't want the goddamn sugar. Anyway, they have but
I understand that, but I would. I don't know. I
So
think
you're
it's-
a health
I think
nut.
it's way more
You
natural.
don't need sugar.
I think it's way more natural
The
to
candy's
have
more
a
attractive to
flower
the
than
children.
all the other bullshit. I don't know. That's just me.
I'm surprised with you. You're still smoking.
That's
it,
what I'm
so-
saying,
yeah.
Well, I'm vaping it.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
still-
Yeah.
It's still getting in your lungs.
But I honestly, I think that my lung capacity, like I did cardio the past 2-3 weeks after I've been smoking it, and I feel like my cardio is improving. To be honest, like I feel like my
Oh, he's
capacity.
drinking the juice, guys.
Got some weed lungs.
God, I should have brought that.
Juice. Drink the
the
juice. Drink
but I do
the
cough a lot.
juice.
I cough a hell. I'm not used to it. I got virgin lungs for sure because
Now-
I take one hit.
Now, what you were afraid of is your anxiety being pegged by
Well,
the
yeah.
marijuana.
So I start off. What I did was
He's a high hypochondriac in a tampon god. I got a new song I'm writing. Hold on.
So what I did was my sponsor, Space Coast Botanicals, who gives me the CBD weed. That's all CBD.
Oh, I like them. They followed me on Twitter.
Oh yeah, really cool guys.
Yeah, they're very nice.
So I took like a little nug of that, and then a tiny. When I first started, a tiny nug of the stuff that I got from there.
Yeah.
And then grinded that up, and then I smoked that, and I was like, all right, I feel okay. Nothing's bad. I'm not freaking out right now. I feel okay.
Oh.
So each time I did it, I added like a bigger and bigger nug of the real stuff and less CBD.
Yeah.
So the other night, I smoked an entire joint of pretty much full
THC.
Full
yeah.
THC.
You smoked a joint? What are you, my stepdad?
Smoke a doobie, bro.
and I was like, fucking, even before when I was smoking, I didn't freak out. I laugh, like I laugh at everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I laugh at anything. So I started going like really bad to the point of like hysterically laughing where I couldn't stop, and I tried to stop and I couldn't stop.
So then he got in his head about not being able to.
Yep.
I can't stop laughing. I got worms coming out my head.
So I started getting in my head about I fucking can't stop laughing. I gotta make myself stop. So I tried to like shut my mouth hard and like.
Oh, you got a case of the laughing worms.
Wait.
Fell right out of you. You got laughing worms.
So then I just went.
Did you think he had psychosis?
A little. I started thinking in my head. I
We
was
gotta,
like,
we gotta get high with Seth.
I
It's
thought
a
it was-
podcast.
We're doing a show.
I thought it was manic.
We gotta do it.
I thought I was having a manic
BDMs
episode.
only.
Yeah, let's do it.
BDM only.
Oh.
Seth,
Oh.
Butler, Sam.
Now you have to have your
Tom,
medical
We
card.
need to be in a
Dan.
safe place. Are we doing it here?
Medical card. We bring our own stash because that's the legalities, and we all get. I mean, I want to get
Blast to the moon.
blazed to the moon.
Yeah.
And we fire this
Record a
thing
show?
up. And we do
Yeah.
1 full hour BDM show.
All right.
The worst part of that though at night, because I calmed myself down. I thought it was starting to come down from. I laid in bed, and then my girlfriend's dog was there, and it makes a lot of noise when it tries to sleep, like like the hot panic.
It's
and I was
bored.
like, and I fucking thought every time it did that, I heard Seth, what are you doing, Seth? I fucking started
dog was talking to
well,
you.
it's fucking saying when I started sweating, I was like, fuck, I'm just freaking out right now. It's not really happening. Like I go into like a psychotic state sometimes when I smoke too much. That's what it sounds like. I don't listen to that actually. So anytime
You had 10 puffs of a skinny joint and you.
no, I wasn't saying it was fat. My buddy was.
And you thought your girlfriend's dog was talking to
I
you.
knew it wasn't, but I just heard.
Did you tell?
when
It's
it
embarrassing. Did you
vocalized,
tell your young girlfriend that you're panicking?
I said, hey, did you hear that?
No.
And she
your
goes,
dog's talking to me.
I told her the next day.
Oh, your dog's in the bathroom eating my butt worm.
He's this close to being Aaron Hernandez.
I told her the next day, and she thought it was. She laughed at me. And
Oh, no heron.
Yeah.
Hernandez.
And you got a surveillance system too, don't you?
Oh, pull the video of you
yes.
freaking out.
Jay,
Well,
the
I was
video's gonna be
laying-
her
so all you
taking.
saw-
So there's a video of you using a scope bottle to scoop your worms.
No, it's not in the
They're
bathroom.
like, ow.
I got busted a few
Exhibit
times for
A.
the bathroom, so I took it out of the bathroom. It was too creepy in the bathroom.
He's scooping
You
his
got
poo
busted a
poo.
few times for cameras in the bathroom.
I didn't get busted.
That's what you said. I
They
just-
said-
That's what
well,
I heard.
Well, what I meant to say, I misspoke.
I got caught in the bathroom.
misspoke.
Let the record reflect.
Yeah. No, I've had.
You had a
I've
pee-pee cam?
No, I didn't have a pee-pee cam. I
Gross.
just had cameras everywhere. And
I
I,
put
took it
that
out because I
line-
was like, you know what, I don't really need, because I have a sliding door where my bathroom is, so in case people break in through that sliding door in my bathroom, it's there to catch them.
No.
So, but I looked
That's what I tell my wife. I was like,
I also have a
put this
sky-
finger in your butt.
I have a skylight that's over my
In
shower.
case
so
someone
there's a
steals the
camera there.
toilet, I can see their face as they pick it up.
Caught you. I caught you red-handed.
So I know
You motherfuckers aren't going to steal any more of my toilets.
one time this girl that I had over, she knew I had a camera in the bedroom, and I didn't have any in the bathroom. But she went in the bathroom, and I have this little like stone owl that sits there.
Well,
Well, it's just it's decor.
It's the bathroom
It's
owl.
the worms.
No,
It's hollow, so he puts his face. And like an old spooky haunted house, like the eyes turn into real eyes.
It's like the haunted mansion pictures of
Oh, damn it.
I came in like that night, and the owl was turned around backwards. I go, why did you turn that around? She's like, well, I didn't know if it was a camera or not, so I turned it around. Anymore.
Everything's a fucking camera. I turn cereal around. I turn the coffee pot around.
I was like,
turned
it's a
your
giant
pee-pee owl
It's
around.
a giant stone owl. There's no way it's a camera. But I understand where she was coming from, so I didn't get really mad.
So
you were like, you know what? Understood.
Understood. You have a good point.
So
It's a good idea, actually.
Seth, you got some news for us? Let's do some news.
Well, there's somebody at the door. I don't know why. I mean, I'll send Butler.
Oh,
out there
am I legally parked?
to handle that? No, I
Can't
don't
see
know.
anybody.
I don't know what's
Oh,
happening.
Somebody
Like,
ran
yeah.
over something.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. There's like a like.
Is that blood real on your car?
I always like to see an exchange of what's happening right now.
Butler's
Oh, Butler's talking and talking.
Does he have a gun?
They're
What's happening?
Oh,
out
it's
there?
EMS.
they're
Oh, it's EMS.
Oh,
Oh, all right. Well, somebody's calling me. It's a
Oh,
scammer. No, all hell's breaking loose. Are we doing news?
yeah.
All right, here we go. And it's news time.
99 MRIs, trying to prove he's gonna die. The CTE is kicking in with every new hit at the gym. He laid out Kimbo with an attack, but the Russian won't call him back. And we all forgot about that fight. Just more proof alone you're gonna die.
We'll just edit it a little bit because it's a longer show and I forgot to do it.
I will say News Today brought to you by KDK Accountancy Corporation, OrlandoCPA.net, Bernie, our accountant. He's also a financial advisor, and it's tax season. So if you're a 1099 employee or you've had any tax problems or a small business, Bernie is a great CPA. He knows his shit. He's trustworthy. And he's also a financial advisor, so he can help you out with those 401ks.
Or if you're starting a business, he can help you set that up. He helped me,
So help you out with your LLC and everything. And he's great and trustworthy. OrlandoCPA.net.
Oh my God!
First story.
This is interesting to me because I don't know why they would do this. I don't think the times and the age of our times are that bad right now. The Doomsday clock, you all know what that is, right?
Oh, they move it forward?
They moved it 100 seconds to midnight, which is the closest point to nuclear annihilation since the Cold War.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Hold on. What is the Doomsday clock?
Things
I don't
are
know
pretty
what those
spicy, you know, like
It's
Iran
a
is
worldview.
enriching uranium, and
You don't know
we're
the
pulling
Doomsday
out of
clock is?
treaties, and shit's all flying around. And again, not laying my political beliefs out there. I'm just saying
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of countries that want to, you know, spice things up, so they have more. What do you call that? Leverage,
Fake
right?
news, fake news.
Well, what is the Doomsday
The Doomsday
clock?
clock is like it's a symbolic clock that the world uses to see how close we are to actually having like a nuclear war with everybody, like a world,
Like a
an actual
humanity-
humanity crisis, world war, like end of the
no,
world.
I
type
agree with
scenario.
Juan. Juan said Pakistan is the more worrisome situation. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Anytime you
so
got
it's-
random countries and with nuclear weapons and like shit getting tense
Well,
and, like,
we
it scares everybody.
we don't fully understand each other, and we don't want to fully understand each other, and that's a fucking
Some
problem.
cultures just don't mix.
Everybody's worried about that.
Agreed, but no, he's right. I mean,
No,
you're not. No, you're not
YBMW
going to
here.
see eye to eye.
It has nothing to do with.
But I think you need to. I think it's important to
culturally.
try and understand. You know, I mean, it's kind of like Tom's idea about like not blocking people that disagree with you on Facebook. It's like it's always good to try and understand the things that you don't fully grasp. I think that makes you wise.
Does everybody feel like it's kind of one of those scenarios where like an old Western movie where everybody pulls out their gun and is pointing their gun at each other?
That's
and
the
there's-
old.
That's the old butter battle book from Dr. Seuss. That's how I think of it.
Well, and then you're just waiting
like
for
Reservoir Dogs.
you know that
ending.
one, like a glass falls, and then people think it's a gunshot, and then they just start shooting each other.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
I mean, that's the scariest
that's
thing. But
where,
you know, like, let's see who said it.
Stop!
Canadian Josh 159 says global pandemic most likely pass me a corona. Yeah.
Oh, Corona.
Yeah.
No, Corona. Is that the coronavirus? Oh, Corona. I thought he was talking about the coronavirus.
I think
Google-
he's making a joke.
Oh, I googled that too. the
Oh,
other
do
day.
you think you had it?
Yeah.
No,
Why'd you
I'm
Google
not. I don't know what that one.
Because I wanted to
doesn't-
see the symptoms just to
That,
make sure.
that one
everybody
doesn't
gets
worry me. I got a lot of people on my timeline that are
I
like,
have a
"Oh,
lot of
great!
Chinese
Look at
friends.
this." We're and I'm like, "Yeah, man."
Bird
this-
flu, SARS. It was all
But
the
this
same kind of
happens
stuff.
all the time. You
It's-
know,
it's
like
not
this,
a death sentence
It's
in
also
either, right?
not
Some
a new
have
thing.
died, yeah, it's like a small percentage has died.
But it's not a new thing. You know, like if you were a child or if you were an elderly person,
Right.
I would be really concerned
had a
about
poor
it.
immune
Probably
system.
take some precautions. But you know, if you're like me, you're fucking rich and big dick. Who the fuck cares?
True. So this is the closest point, symbolic point from an apocalypse since 1953, which is a weird year. I figured they would have.
What was that? Bay of Pigs?
Well, the
I don't
Cold
know.
War.
When was Bay of Pigs?
Cold War, yeah.
60s,
But
right?
I thought the World War would have been a little more.
Yeah, but they didn't
I would
have.
have thought Bay of Pigs would be the
you're right,
closest.
nuclear weapons, I guess.
Wasn't
would be
the
Russia
Bay-
didn't have. You know, it's
Bay
like,
of Pigs was the closest we came to ever like popping shit off, right?
well, yeah, when Cuba had nuclear weapons, or they thought they did, or whatever, that's everybody got. That's why there's a ton of houses. When I grew up in a house that was built in the 50s, and they built a bomb shelter
Yeah, I got
when
a
they
bomb
built the
shelter.
house.
I want one, man.
I got one of my
Not
historic
because I'm afraid of that. I know that surprises all of you, but I just think it'd be cool. Like it's like I think that'd be the ultimate man cave is a fucking bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Didn't they have one like Gleam in the Cube? They hung out in like a little
Yeah.
bomb shelter, and, the
And
guy
I'm
there skateboarding and everything.
I'm anti man
You
cave.
cannot make fun of any of my 80s movies if you like Gleaming the Cube.
What
is
about
that?
I don't even know what that
Quicksilver?
is.
What about
Yeah.
You know what that
Classic
is?
movie. It's Christian Slater
Quicksilver?
skateboard movie
Christian
with Tony
Slater.
Hawk.
Huh?
Quicksilver?
That's a bike movie.
The bicycle delivery.
BMX Bandits is where it's at.
Great one.
What about Rad?
Rad is really
BMX
good.
Bandits was the best.
What about a Born to Win? Yours and Tony Rage's.
Out to Win.
Out to Win. Out to Win. We still have yet to film that.
A kneeboard movie that me
yeah.
and Tony Rodriguez wrote. We'll make it one day.
I have a very small part in that, actually. Yeah. I play
wheelchair boy.
I play wheelchair. I play
wheels.
Hold on a second. I play Wheelchair Boy 3.
Yeah. And we get you on the kneeboard. It's all
And
Us
I'm
versus
like,
the
I
rich.
feel like I'm running.
So anyway, so Doomsday Clock, and they moved it up.
You look so sad talking about. Are you scared about that?
No, not at all. I think it's bullcrap. I think it's fear mongering. I think they're just like
Probably
throwing it
is,
out to
yeah.
everyone. Everyone is like, oh, scared of
Because
stuff.
they
It shouldn't be like that. In real life, I think when we go out and we talk to each other like normal people out in the streets, everybody's getting along. Everything's kind of okay. Sometimes it's not, but for the majority it is. But the way the media and everyone says stuff, it sounds like it's so horrible out there and
I do
terrible,
agree with
and
you.
it's really not.
They do paint it
They
into
do.
a worse picture than reality.
They have us against each other so much, and I think it's bullshit. Like the left and the right, it's just so out there. Like it's so extremes are always everyone's an extreme on the news, but in real life, it's really not like that.
My hope is that people will eventually start realizing that social media and the internet it kind of like paints a more extreme picture than reality, and then everybody will just realize that this is an exaggeration and reality is better. But who will see?
Shut up, you libtard.
I like that.
We'll see when
like that.
we're holding the chain link fence and our entire body is being melted.
Terminator. What Terminator was that?
Terminator 2. Judgment Day, man.
We still hold on with our skeleton fingers somehow.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Next story.
I remember that I was at Deland High School and I was in a photography class and I took a photo of my own hand on a chain link fence. And it was black and white, and I did the whole
Getting prepped for the monsters.
But I did the whole I did the whole I did the Lightroom. I processed it, with stop bath, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Like I know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I pulled out my picture and I hung it up and let it dry. And then I had, by the way, the only people that ever hang up pictures anymore and let them dry are people that are taking photos of pedophiles. Apparently, are the only people that still use real photography techniques. And I remember looking at that photo and going, that's the most artistic thing I'll ever do. I was like, that is a really good photo.
Until Seth's song.
Yeah. And then I did the song and I was like, you know what? I finally surpassed my masterpiece.
I agree.
Next story.
All right. This one had me cracking up last night. I heard you too.
Me and my wife were crying.
Okay. Voice of a. I'm glad we both were. You're cracking your wife. Me and my girlfriend are laughing at this too.
Andrea goes that. Andrea actually, her quote was, "That's not real. That's the Onion." And I go, "Nope,
That's the Onion.
It's CNN, Sky News, BBC, whatever you want. They got it."
So, voice of a 3,000-year-old Egyptian mummy reproduced by 3D printing a vocal tract. Scientists have revealed what the voice of a mummified Egyptian priest who lived 3,000 years ago would have sounded by 3D printing his vocal tract. The team were able to accurately reproduce a single sound, which sounds a bit like a long, exasperated meh without the So he describes it as falling somewhere between the vowels of an English word as bed and bad.
So what's funny about this story to me is
they had to I think they had to in layman's terms, they had to take a mummy remains.
Yes.
And they had to put it in an
Scan it.
MRI.
It looks just like the MRI going.
Yeah, you put it in the MRI and you scan the vocal chamber, and then through knowing how
the diameter, and the width,
you know biology, you know the width, the length,
exact
all of that.
Measurements of this mummy's vocal chamber,
and knowing how the voice box, how the reverberation of normal vocals works, they were able to 3D print a vocal track and then use technology to create the vocal track.
Yeah, probably maybe by pushing air through the vocal track.
They have a mold of its mouth and throat right here. I think that's what they did.
Yeah,
so I would have done something way more interesting. Just done it with the butt and sounded what a fart would sound like.
That's actually way better.
No shit,
you know what? It is way better.
Like,
yeah,
3D print the anus and then see what the fart would sound like.
So and then fuck it. You know, like look, I'm fucking a 3,000-year-old mummy.
Or smell it actually come out of its ass and see what it smells
I don't know
like.
if you could make like what it's going to smell
Yeah,
like, but
'cause
you
you don't
can
know what they
certainly
ate.
get how tight it is.
So let's me and
See if
Dan,
it's been butt fucked or not.
Yeah,
me
you
and,
could.
me and Daniel are a big fan of extreme waste of
yes.
of time and effort and probably all these people's
Buck Tucker's even
technology.
asking. He's like, "Why does this matter?" Great question.
Yes. So imagine
the answer is, Buck, it doesn't.
they were able
to
to
have the segment.
Yeah, they were able to borrow a 3,000 years old mummy from some like
I mean,
museum
it's
or
really
something.
a price. It's literally a priceless artifact of our history as humans.
I'm sure there was multiple a
I'd rather have my
team
car.
from the museum that dropped it off at the MRI place
Oh.
and guards and
yeah.
shit. Then you got all the people that are doing this
and there's
experiment.
only like one or two people that can even handle it.
Yeah, then they put it through an MRI.
Hopefully, one of the scientists is friends with the museum guy, and that was his friendship.
yeah,
I'm sure that's what he brought to the
I'm
table.
That's what he brought to the table.
Yeah,
a mummy.
Friendshipville or Friendship Land.
So they MRI scanned this
Yep.
mummy's throat, and then they like put it all together. Then they put it through a real expensive 3D.
painstaking man hours.
Yeah, like I mean, imagine the time this all took. Like the people, the time, the technology, the
I mean,
money.
I would like to hear that this
25
is
minutes.
Yeah, I would like to hear that this is 9 years in the making.
Yeah. And
One guy dedicated his life
trying to see
to
if it
it.
says.
He lost relationships because of it.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of money that they use to create this is what would you say?
Yeah.
An upwards
Oh,
of
yeah.
Tens
20
of thousands.
Yeah.
It said they did it in 2016, so I'm guessing they
No,
just
they've been
did the
working on it a very
So,
long time.
2006, 4
So
years.
that's 4 years.
No, seriously,
Oh, yeah.
and even
Just to
longer
get
than
this
that.
sound.
Yeah. So
No, even longer than that because like the amount of like you're right, the amount of red tape that they had to get through to even make this happen is just insane.
Yeah.
Avatar's taking like 10 years.
Yeah.
So, 4 years in the making, tens of thousands of dollars of, and then who knows how many man hours, all
For what?
You want to
this
hear it?
sound.
Yeah,
they
let's
have
hear
the
it.
sound
Okay,
here.
Let's hear
I
the
have
sound.
it. Here is what this mummy would sound like. Ready? Wait for it. Everyone quiet. There it is. All right.
Are you serious?
Yes, that's what it was.
That's what the dog was saying to me the other night.
Sad.
It sounds like E.T.
I blew
it does sound like E.T.
my English muffin I was eating with my wife. I blew my English muffin out of my mouth playing this morning. We laughed. Me and Andrea laughed so hard because it
again.
sounds like, okay,
Do it again.
this is an impression of a mummy that's 3,000 years old. This is his reaction when his waiter doesn't bring his salad dressing at Applebee's. Yeah, there you go. He's very upset.
How with a straight face do you even release that? Like after all this, that's all you got, and then like they still release it. Like don't even release it. Be like it didn't work.
Question: if you have
That could be
what
the fart,
it,
too.
sound,
It sounds the same, to be
if you have
honest.
what the voice sounds like, why not just make it say a word?
They're trying to do that. They're trying to do because this particular mummy or mummification.
Mama.
Yeah.
Not the mama.
This particular mummy would have done a lot of talking and a lot of singing because he would have been ceremonial, right? So he
Yeah.
would have been like a
They're
priest.
priest, yeah.
So they're
Well, he
trying,
also said he had gum disease and tooth decay. And
Of course, everybody did.
they're trying to.
Yeah.
so
So
he's
they're-
like probably talking.
They're going to
about
try
it.
to make him sing eventually, I guess, like
Okay.
to because now they have the tone, which is
Ooh.
the she's like, I don't man.
What if the whole song should be like
it's
that?
my wife's like, she's like, do you want Panera tonight or are we doing HelloFresh? I don't know. It's all the fucking same to me. I'm not even hungry.
Why?
drunk.
Here's the thing. After all this 4 years and everything, like, why not wait?
Oh, I got a flat tire.
Why not wait until you could at least, like Samantha said, make it say a word or
Right.
like do something more than that sound?
I mean, you
because
waited 4 years. What's
noticed
4 more?
sounds like-
because now everybody's laughing at you because that's like it seems like a gigantic waste of fucking time. Because what is this? This is stupid. Like, does anybody think this is cool?
Addie Adams says, let the past die.
Yeah,
Well, it's. Does anybody?
It's Sam when we fuck things up in the studio. It's basically what she says to us. I'm like, oh, they're not coming today. There it is. I'm sorry, Sam. Didn't mean to piss you off.
It just it's crazy to me. That,
I laughed so hard and then I told Andrea.
I expected more, I gotta be
Andrea
honest.
honestly thought it was a comedy
This thing.
because you don't know anymore, right?
Right.
And I'm kind of with her. Like, had she told me the same thing, I probably would have said that's a fucking onion.
Yeah.
But because news is so bananas now. These guys are just trying to do like mummy sounds like they would have done years ago, but because of the way we consume like things now, it's like, and they work so hard. That's $1 million sound. That's $1 million.
Damn it.
It is. You're right.
Oh, I got it. Remember those toys?
Probably more, man.
Remember those
Probably
toys
more.
of the 80s?
That's pretty good.
What?
Remember those toys of the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the wiggle sticks.
That's what it sounds like.
What if it's just a wiggle stick? They're like, fuck, it didn't work. Just give them the wiggle stick.
Oh fuck! Did you record the mummy? No, I got fucking. I just got my medical card. I got too high, and I was in there fucking scooping my doo-doos with a scope bottle.
Shit!
Yeah,
Frank,
fuck. Get the wiggle
just
stick.
make a sound.
There we go. There it is.
Tell them that's a mummy.
Yeah, put it on CNN.
There's no way to
They'll
prove.
just think it's the Onion.
All right.
That's my favorite story of the week.
Yeah,
What's
it was
your
pretty
next
good. It was pretty
story,
funny. A US.
I thought you were gonna get serious on us.
I'm going to cry.
No, the next one's really serious. Not this one.
Death.
This is actually serious because we like animals. U.S. plan would ban all service animals from planes except dogs. So the Department of Transportation is proposing new rules that would make it harder to fly with an emotional support animal. Because there's a picture on here. A person brought a miniature horse on an airplane, departed from Chicago O'Hare.
That's real.
Claiming it was an emotional support animal.
Well,
and I'm back and forth about this. I think we're animals.
Yeah.
We can have animals on plane. I don't give a shit.
What do you think, Tutankhamun?
We're animals.
I like it.
They like cats. They're good.
The thing is,
They worship cats.
I think,
They
and
fuck
now
crocodiles.
I have no idea.
Cats should not be allowed on planes, so I rode with a cat on a plane, and it was so loud and so like.
It sounded like that.
Like it was all like, yeah, it was like
Shut
the
up,
whole
mommy.
flight. It was just, and I'm like, oh my god,
Every
somebody
animal
shut this
except
fucking thing
cats.
up.
So I don't know if this is true, but it seemed to me like people were doing the miniature horse, the goose, the snakes.
iguana.
the
Yeah, and I'm
iguana
with Buck.
as-
Cats are great, just not on planes. I don't think they like it. I think that it's really fucks with their brains.
It seems like people were doing that as like a protest to fuck with the system or bring like awareness to the fact that people were just bringing like rich, mostly rich ladies were bringing their Yorkies.
We have an example, and I hate to bust her out. Now
the
that she has
Tiffany
a
was
kid,
doing-
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Tiffany, before Crixus, her beautiful son, she had a little dog named Beely, and Beely had the vest and the whole nine, and it was a total scam.
Yeah, where she got it offline,
Yeah.
and then
Oh yeah, you can still do that.
yeah, everybody was doing it,
Yeah,
and
but
everybody
I mean,
does
you can't
do
get
it.
You can't get away with it.
Yeah,
But it got too much. It got to the point. Last time I was flying, I saw some lady like holding her Bichon Frise tiny little dog, and it was shaking crazy,
I
and
don't-
scared
it's
out of
just-
its mind.
yeah, they fucking hate it,
because
man.
in a busy airport, all she did is want to fly with her, her dog, and it just shit diarrhea onto the floor, and then she was like trying to scrape it up, but it was in the carpet, and I was just like, what are we doing here? Like, this is ridiculous. They had to put like dog bathrooms in
Did you use
airports.
the Seth method with a magazine.
And I'm like,
scoop it up?
and I understand there
As long as you
are
put the magazine back, we're good.
there's legitimate like support animals, of course, and we should all
That
support
would
that.
benefit me a lot. If I had a little miniature pony, I would pet it the whole fucking time.
I like,
looking
that
into
you're,
its.
I like that you're making the case for it.
No, because if I look
Because
into
you
the
and I
eyes,
both hate flying.
Yeah, so
It's
I think
not gonna
that would calm
help
me
you.
down.
I told my wife one
I
time
would
that I
squeeze
would.
it to death if we went down. That would help me.
Jesus.
No, not on purpose. I would
No,
just love it.
He is right. Like, not, to show you the flip side, like, I fly a lot better, and you know this. You've seen it. Like, having my family with me would be the only way that I kind of equate it to, like,
Unless
if,
they
if,
fuck with me, yes.
If I would have been allowed to fly with Caesar,
Yeah.
like when you and I were flying heavily like years ago, it would have been an easier flight.
Put
for
it,
me.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 choices, and you put what helps you the most and least, and with flying.
Okay.
Caesar Family Xanax. Put them in order.
Oh, Xanax. Xanax, Family Caesar. Dog last. Yeah.
Well, see, family doesn't help me at all. They just make me. They fuck with me and make me more nervous.
I like having
your Xanax
May-
doesn't shit all over the.
I like having
Right.
Yeah, like
That's all I'm saying.
when
I don't want
Maisie's
that
there, like I like that she's got skin in the game because I'm like, you're a lot younger, so you're really gambling with your life a lot more than I am.
I've lived my life.
Yeah, I've done a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like you don't even know what fun stuff is. Like your brain's still developing.
Yeah.
So if you die, then I kind of get a little like I feel better about that because like I'm like I've got less invested.
No.
So I'm like, oh, we're gonna die together. Like at least you won't have fun without me. That's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's honest.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if Maisie, like I have said that I want Maisie and Andrea to fly with me, and if the plane goes down, we all go down. I don't want to be in the plane that goes down, and then they just get to go fucking have fun.
I agree. We're the same with that.
Yeah,
We're
I
selfish
want,
like that. I like
in
that.
fact, no offense to everyone in
Very
this
selfish.
room, but I would prefer the next time I fly that everyone be on the flight. So if we die, we all die together because I want you guys to die too.
I
If
don't
I'm
want the
gonna
party-
die, I want the world to die.
You don't want the party to go on without you.
No.
I
If I die, I want the power for the world to explode.
I want your plane to be
Yes.
crashing, and then you're like, fuck, and then you look out the window and nuclear bombs are going off. You're like, yes.
That would make me feel
It would
better.
make me feel
It would
better.
make me feel
It
a lot
would.
better.
Wow.
It would if I looked out the window and saw the world on fire and people just being roasted by the devil, just like he's pitchforking them into the lava. I'd be like, all right, well, at least they're getting theirs. So,
Or the ghost-
and then I look at them and I go, guys, I bid you and good night, everybody, and then that'd be it.
All right, next story.
Okay, hang on.
What happened to you handwriting all your news?
This is I jumped on. It's 2020, Sam.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh my god.
Nobody writes shit anymore.
Yeah, I think his girlfriend told him.
Why are you writing stuff?
Honestly,
writing is so
I couldn't. It was so hard to read my own handwriting.
Fair
That's
enough.
what you do.
I was
Fair
like,
enough.
fuck, what did I just write there? And I had to make stuff up the whole time.
Yeah. I know how that is.
All right. Man.
Oh, no.
No, it's not funny. I was going to be serious about it. Man apparently jumps from a cruise ship docked in San Juan and dies. A body of a man, the U.S. Coast Guard says.
Keep it together.
No.
My God.
Jump from a cruise ship. If somebody wants to die, then that's on. I mean,
It's so sad. He was mentally unstable, clearly.
well, he fixed it. Cruise ship docked in San Juan, Puerto Rico, was recovered Wednesday night. The Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, which I've been on, was hosting a cruise catering to the LGBTQ plus community, reports CBS News correspondent David Begand. The Coast Guard said it was called by San Juan police after a report of a person overboard. The Coast Guard set up a safety zone and, along with local agencies, launched boats and then dive teams. Divers quickly recovered the body of a 46-year-old man from Naples, Florida, which sucks. That's my hometown, kind of. A spokesperson from the Coast Guard in San Juan said to CBS News that they don't have any reason. They saw the footage, and it was a clean jump from about 177 feet.
Whoa.
And is
So
that
he
high?
jumped-
Is that high? I don't
That's
know.
high, dude.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
you
I
could
can't put that
possibly
percent.
live.
Yeah.
It could knock you
Seems
out.
like it.
But you would have to be 100. Like you would have to fall into the water like exactly perfect at that height. Like there are people that can high dive from like heights like that, but if you're not entering the water with 100% accuracy, and you fall like a little bit belly,
a couple of degrees off.
yeah,
Oh,
you'll
belly flop from that high.
well,
Whoa.
it'll instantly knock you out.
You'd be fine, Sam.
Your organs would be,
Would it
explode.
push turds out
What'd
of
you
your butt?
say?
I said
Yeah.
you would be fine. You got big, the cushion. you
Landing
know,
in water from that
I
height,
don't think that's how
I
that
think it would
works.
hurt her more.
it would instantly kill you. Like that's all I'm saying. But
The only
and it
thing
might
you
even
would have
break the-
going for you is you wouldn't be able to see.
it'd be like an
as you-
air-
you
it'd be
know,
like
I won't see my
yeah,
demise.
You won't see your
Even
demise.
if
Like
you
an
went,
airbag?
if you went in like a soldier, totally straight,
yeah,
it may,
commando.
Like an ice squid.
it
You gotta
may-
look-
your knees.
you gotta
I
look
think
up as
it'll
you
bust
do
up your
that,
feet.
It may break your feet and maybe even
Really? Break
like
your feet?
you're slowing down
It'll crumble you. Yeah.
because at
believe
177
that.
feet, I think you're probably reaching pretty close to like 100
Max
miles an
velocity?
hour. Like 150 is like skydivers.
I think I could do it.
That's nothing. I got my carb to 130.
But it's basically jumping onto ground.
So
Yeah.
they're
From
saying
that
they're
height.
trying to determine what motivated the man. And they said the ship's departure from San Juan was delayed because of the incident, which at least there's a bright side
So
to that.
they were already docked. So this was
they
a
got
suicide.
they got a longer vacation for it. What? Yes, there was already docked.
Yeah, okay. So, because there have been people there's been like
Because of the waves.
frat boys that have jumped off cruise ships from a lower
Yeah, I've
height.
seen them land and then swim away.
yeah, and then they usually get fined or whatever. But like their buddies,
well, they get banned for life.
yeah,
typically,
their drunk buddy, like, hey, jump off and then swim to the shore before and so that's happened. But usually, anytime, like, man,
What if I went straight in?
dude, it's hard though because
Close to straight in.
you have to orientate yourself as you're falling because from 170 feet, like that's a good 4 Mississippis of free fall.
I think I
like
could
3
do it.
Mississippis.
I think I could do
2, 3, boom, and then
I think I could do it.
You would have to like at the last second then army man it.
No, I do it the whole time.
No,
Oh, then you're gonna go-
And as
then
I
you're gonna go
rotated
faster.
forward, then I'm knocked out dead.
Oh no, I think
then you got to keep it going so you end up 360.
No, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're all sprawled out.
I remember those old videos of the super high divers, and they'd set up what looks like just like a cell phone tower, and then above the ground, a giant above the ground pool.
Oh, yeah, a tiny pool. Yeah.
And then
I liked it when they did it with horses and broke their front legs.
yeah. But they'd show the guy.
They did?
Yeah, they would ride the horse, and the horse would jump off, and they'd be like into a tiny pool.
Yeah. There used to be like water jumping horses.
We used to be assholes.
In the 20s.
Well, we had a lot more horses.
But the dude would stand.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's a
How
fact.
high is that?
Is that a fact?
No, I
we had a lot more horses back in the 20s.
I made all of that up.
Look up highest
search that.
high dive or whatever. Because I wonder, because 170 feet is.
The guys
I
that
think we
dive
could survive it.
The guys that dive in Acapulco are like, because I went and watched them. And
They may be more like 80 to 100.
It's not.
What's the Golden
It's
Gate
not as
Bridge?
big as you
The
think.
highest dive from a diving board is 192 feet and 10
Fuck,
inches.
this guy was he didn't hit right.
Well, that's
That's a trained professional.
Yeah, someone
that guy's
probably
been training his entire life.
worked his way up, and that's 20 foot taller than this. Yeah. Like you hit water. I mean, we used to go to Snowden's in Miami, and there was a dam that went out to the bay, and we'd climb it, and it was like 60 feet, and that was like terrifyingly high, and when we landed, we wear shoes.
Like, just like 30
if you didn't wear
feet,
shoes,
it hurts.
it would slap your feet red.
Oh, yeah.
So when we jump off that, it was, and there would be people that land wrong and would be like coughing blood. Like it would cause.
Oh my god!
You could die easily by hitting the water. Yeah. Like
well, remember the
organs up.
lawsuit that God, I want to say it was like 2 years ago, where there these two girls were standing on a bridge.
Yeah.
And the one girl, they were like trying to get her to jump.
Oh, I saw that.
And she didn't necessarily want to. She was like sort of scared to do it. And her friend was like, do it, and then pushed her. And she fell. And when she fell, she belly flopped, and it broke like all these bones and fucked her up so bad. And then she sued the girl that pushed her.
Yeah.
And she got charged, and it was a big fucking
rightfully so.
to-do.
You injure, push someone off a bridge.
Push someone, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
People
bad.
think water is like very easy to land in, and if anybody's jumped from any sort of height, when you hit that water, it hurts. We remember, I think we had her on the show, but our friend Kelly, she wanted
Miller,
well, my wife's friend, she wanted to jump off the dam when we were in high school, and like none of our girlfriends had the balls to do it, So, but she was like, "I'm gonna do it." So I went up there with her, and I was telling her, like, okay, you have to stand on these, like, the top of the dam and then 1 foot on the fence. And then you have to clear, like, this, like, 5 foot cement and the rocks in front of the dam. So you have to jump out, like, 10 feet when you land. And I'm like, I'll jump first, and then you follow me. Just in case something happens, I'll get you if you, like, knock yourself out underwater. By the way, this is what fucking high school kids do and why they die a lot. So I jumped off, I land, and then when she jumped, she panicked as soon as she jumped and kind of froze, and like her feet were too far up, and she kind of leaned back, and she basically landed butt first. So like,
I thought she was gonna pull an Indiana Jones Part 3 where it skins her head a bunch of times on the way down to the crocodile.
No. She landed clean in the water, but landed straight on her ass, and it made a slap. Like I knew it was like, go!
I like a good ass slap.
And then it didn't knock her out or anything.
I wonder how much water went in her butthole.
Dude, when she walked out, literally, like we had to climb out on rocks. Her ass was instantly black and blue down her ass and her thighs.
You saw her ass?
Well, it was in a bathing suit, but it turned.
Well, how'd you see it was black and blue? Would you pull it down?
Well, no, it was just
the outer
you're a goddamn animal.
Nice.
I assumed that when black and blue is coming outside of your bathing suit, it's your ass
that's
too.
just a tan.
But
that's where blue waffle.
I was like, whoa! And I remember her mom was yelling at us at Substantial. Like her mom came in, she's like, "You almost killed my daughter." Like it was you. And then I was like, I blame it Fernando.
Two Italian sons.
Yeah. His name sounds guilty.
It really does.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Yes, sir.
We'll come back with some news and emails, and we got some other stories too.
I can't get to them now. Sorry.
I got it.
We'll do it.
Brand new music from Prism Tats, not Prison Tats, but Prism Tats. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. Enjoy. Welcome back to a mediocre time with Tom and with Dan and with Sam and with Travis and with Seth.
I'm always lost.
And with guests. And welcome back to a mediocre time with Seth. And Dan.
My name flows better
and
first.
Tom and Travis and Sam. And welcome back, everybody.
So, Daniel, you were telling me about this Amanda Knox thing.
It's not even a big deal. It was just an observation I had because she's getting married. And she's planning for her wedding. She's 32 years old.
Seth, you remember who Amanda Knox
Amanda
is?
Knox. She was the Foxy Knoxy, the Italian murder
She got
woman.
accused of double murder. She was like an exchange student or a student in Italy.
Yeah.
And she had a roommate that got murdered, and the roommate got murdered, and then the boyfriend of the roommate, someone like
I think so.
I think it was 2 murders, but it was a big
she
case.
was famously acquitted in 2015 and exonerated completely in 2015. And she's a criminal justice activist, a host of a podcast. Sorry about it. Let me turn your mic on.
So it was a roommate that got murdered, and they accused her.
Her and her boyfriend.
Yeah, I think it was just one woman, but it was supposed to have been like a threesome gone wrong kind of thing.
Ecstasy fueled.
But you really do? Is it like an O.J. Simpson thing? Like we know she did it, but she got away with it?
No, all the evidence.
She's been exonerated.
She was sentenced to 26 years, but then she appealed or something.
Yeah, they kind of point to other people.
So they found her guilty. I watched the documentary.
Here's the picture, and this is a picture from her Instagram, I think like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And here she is, and she says, on her Instagram, she says, 40 days left until the wedding and 267 tasks left on my wedding list my wedding to-do list. I've locked myself in a craft room, and I'm wearing my old prison uniform. So the reason I picked this story and this picture of her in her old prison uniform is that it gave me anxiety to look at a human being that is so comfortable with like, oh, I'm just going to go in my craft room and put on my old Italian murder jail outfit and take a photo for Instagram. Totally okay. I sometimes can't even like brush my fucking teeth without shaking because I'm scared of something that's like going on in my brain. But you're okay with everything you went through being like sentenced,
charged with the murder,
thinking living
there, acquitted, not acquitted, love triangle, murder on TV, Foxy Noxy.
They found her guilty.
That makes me think like she did it now.
And you're okay with it?
That's psycho. That's psycho thinking.
If you watch, here's what happened.
She's so comfortable with it. I had to pull it because I was like, first thing I would have done when I got out of Italian jail.
Kind of like Aaron Hernandez, comfortable in the jail cell.
Yeah, maybe they are. 2011, right? She got acquitted. 2015, exonerated.
Yeah.
In 2011, when I'm coming back to the United States or whatever the fuck, that clothing is burned, and I start over, and that's not part of me anymore.
That period of your life
is gone.
It's gone. You're trying to forget it.
It's gone.
You know, okay, I got a theory about this.
I'm getting spicy even talking about this. Like, I could not do that. When I saw her picture, I follow her on Instagram. I don't even know why. I don't even know I did
Yeah, you're giving yourself agita.
And I'm going through, and I see the picture, and she's so comfortable with it. I'm like, how could you be that comfortable with that?
Okay, Samantha, did you watch the Amanda Knox documentary?
I've seen
a
couple,
bunch of stuff like that.
but I don't know if I've seen the one you've seen.
Okay, I follow my logic with this. I wonder if her personality and the way that she deals with things, like obviously is a lot more nonchalant than a lot of people, you know, for her to even make...
And have you seen the shows that she's hosted
dealing
since?
with it essentially with comedy, which a lot of people do.
Yes.
There was another, I thought you were going to talk about a different post she made.
Have you seen her shows?
No,
Because here, I would like to be on record as saying this. By the way, I'm not judging her in a negative way. Like
people deal with trauma differently.
Andrea and I watched her show she did. I forget what channel it was on, but she was the host, and she would go and like interview these different people that have like stories that could be quite similar to hers or whatever. But it was really good, and she's an excellent journalist, and she's an excellent like host.
Yeah,
like you can tell that like she's very, very intelligent. She's very charming and smart. I don't know if she did any of this. That's not for me to decide. But watching her, she's entertaining. She's good at what she does. So when I watch this, it's just like, I don't know, there's a little bit of a jealousy maybe that I have when I see somebody like that that's been through something so horrible and they can disconnect easily, and I cannot.
Well, here's the thing. I think that personality trait probably helped her get convicted the first time because
she can be so cool.
Well, in the documentary, they like a lot of the evidence that the Italian police like claimed to have circumstantially was how she acted at the murder scene, because they showed
the same
her
thing they did with Casey Anthony, right?
Yeah,
this is not how a mother would act.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Although that kind of leans
but I'm
more
saying
to,
they use that.
But
a
she was
lot.
like kissing her boyfriend that was new, and they were like, "What is?" And the Italian media like portrayed her as like a sociopath, crazy person.
Right.
But it was because of
this putana, she kissing her boy.
it was how
we have a real Italian here, everybody.
Yeah.
So
Economy slut.
I don't think I don't think her behavior helped her with not getting convicted.
I love you. You're so stupid.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
That's awesome.
So sometimes when you act differently than other humans, people think that's suspicious behavior.
Which is shitty, because nobody can tell anybody how anybody's going to act when something happens.
So don't judge me for reading my news and laughing at death.
No, correct. Your feelings are your feelings. And you and I've talked about that.
Especially if the police are zeroed in on a suspect or a person of interest.
Right.
They will find anything that they think in their minds is, quote, out of character or not what a, quote, normal person would do or react. And it's like, well, how do you judge that? Everyone's fucking different. Everybody reacts differently to trauma and different experiences.
The problem is
deviating from the norm.
That yes,
what's the fucking norm?
Statistically, there is a norm of how you act if you kill somebody or don't kill somebody. Yeah, of course there is.
Not really.
The police though use like circumstantial stuff like that to usually find a suspect to then investigate further to see if there's actually any real evidence. Right. But how someone acts can
it'll definitely influence.
Like lend itself to people investigating you, because they're like, that's weird. So I bet you her personality is why she got convicted to begin with.
Yo, you on her podcast? The truth about true crime? I bet it's good. She's a good broadcaster, man. Seriously,
she had another post where she went to like a murder mystery party. And it says, a priceless painting goes missing and the owner is found both poisoned and stabbed. And would you believe it? I, the Countess of Lovelace, am accused, also acquitted, all in 4 hours. Better than 4 years. # murder mystery party. So in this murder mystery,
how do you do that?
I'm telling you,
she's
showing
how
money.
fucked up it is. She's like, how come in this murder mystery I got acquitted in 4 hours, but in real life I had to wait 4 years?
You think she's on like the spectrum or something? Like she disassociates?
I don't think so. I think I would probably fucking be like that.
How are you? I could see you doing that. How was she able to do
She's being snarky about how fucked up it was.
We need to check out her podcast.
I
bet it's
but
good.
I'm with Daniel. I don't know if I'm in an Italian jail for 4 years, falsely accused of murder.
I don't know if I keep my fucking sweatshirt and wear it when I'm fucking in there planning my wedding. Only put on my fucking murder sweatshirt.
I don't know if I can go and joke around. Also, 4 years of your life taken from you is a lot.
It might have been a soft sweater. Really,
it's just insane
it's
to
weird,
me, man.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing the things that like tick off in my brain or trigger me, and that was one. I read that and I go, you would never in a million years, like I don't even keep photos or any keepsake from any girl that I ever dated until Andrea, because it's dead to me. It's gone. Because it could possibly put me in a like it could fuck with my brain a little bit.
I keep all my videos.
Oh,
let's do some voicemails and emails.
We do mail on mail?
Yeah.
All right, mail on mail time goes now. I do find her very attractive, by the way. Amanda not.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail on mail.
Mail on Mail today brought to you by Blanchard Insurance Agency. They have multiple offices around Florida. So we've used Blanchard for our event insurance. But if you want an insurance agent that's going to sit down with you,
so nice.
walk through all your policies, make sure that you're covered with the right type of insurance, because if you're paying for insurance and you end up having a claim, and it turns out that you didn't have the right insurance to cover the things you need, then you wasted your money. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes there's homeowners insurance that people have that they just got the cheapest rate, but they don't even cover like full replacement costs of your things. So if you had a problem, they're going to look at all your stuff and do a math equation and be like, all right, we're not going to give you the full replacement cost of your TV or couch or whatever. We're going to give you the cost of the depreciation that you bought it 4 years ago. Like, that happens and people get screwed.
It does.
And Blanchard wants to make sure that doesn't happen to you. They're great people. And if they know you're a Tom and Dan listener or BDM, they will definitely hook you up and make sure that you get the VIP treatment. So it's Blanchard Insurance Agency.
Let's start with Samantha's email. Samantha is the queen of...
Party! It's a party! Party! It's a party!
In order to be the queen of pizza party, I feel like I should have more pizza parties in my life.
Nah. This is good. This is exactly as good as a pizza party.
Fair enough. You're going to say first email so I know to start?
First one.
I didn't even get to wear my hoodie. I got my hoodie in the mail on Friday. Saturday, getting laundry done for a holiday vacation at Disney, my girlfriend put it in with something that bled. I saw the drawstring first, not on the hoodie, which was blue. I thought, okay, I can get a new one. Then I saw the jacket zipper was too. I got so mad, I threw it in the trash, and then I got so mad at the waist, I punched a hole in the drywall. After vacuuming the debris up, I was so upset over the jacket in the trash and the hole in the wall that I threw the vacuum across the garage. Maybe it's a good time to start getting high. Fuck my life.
I feel
sounds like my Saturday.
I feel like I'd still use it even if the
I mean, you can wash it out.
I don't know. Once it's dyed,
nah, you put some OxyClean in there, you'll be all right.
Yeah. But it's like, all right, you can still,
you know, all right, bro.
You don't have to waste it.
Yeah, why are you freaking out? Oh my God, it's just a
whipping
hoodie.
around his Dyson.
It is a nice hoodie to be ruined right off the bat.
It is really nice.
Yeah, I blame a girlfriend.
Swear it around the house.
You want to do voicemail now?
The people that punch holes in the drywall, like, I never understood that.
I've done it.
You have enough
I did it in my old house
to not realize, like, this is going to cause me a bigger problem. Now I got to fix the drywall.
But it feels good.
But is it
You're
worth
not a feels good guy, are you?
Is it worth
Are you a feels good guy? You're not, right?
Like doing something because it feels good, even though it's detrimental to me long term.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, then you
I
are.
think it's that's
You're
why
just not an anger guy. Like to me, I don't know if Seth agrees with this, but like at my old house, the bungalow, the like AMT studio number 1, the first studio we had, like something, Andrew and I were talking about something made me mad, and I punched right in the drywall, right through it, and I had to patch it.
Yeah.
But it felt really good when you punched it.
It definitely does. But then it reassures your what's what I'm looking for. I'm blanking on
confirmation.
It gives you confirmation that that's okay to do like every time, and that's just not a good thing. I grew up with that though. My dad used to do that.
Punch the drywall
every other day. There was holes in the wall from my dad losing his temper. So I kind of like grew up with it. Like yeah, it is.
I do the same thing now.
early on, yes, I did. I did learn. It was a learned behavior, and I did.
Like, teens and Swiss cheese.
I mean, my doors had holes in it. I used to shake my doors off the hinges because I get angry.
Oh my God! Shake your door off the hinges.
Yeah, bad. Like,
That's
rip it off the
move.
hinges. Yeah, that's an advanced.
Shake the door off the hinges. Shake the door.
But now I'm calmed down. Definitely calmed down.
Calm down, Dusty Roids.
Dusty
Well,
Roids.
that was at the time.
That's the name of the show, Dusty Roids. Let me tell you about my tiny balls, baby. I got the tiniest little veiny balls, baby. I just shoot up my legs in the bathroom. I go into the store, baby. I put 2 needles. 2 needles. Find out the slammer. Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, you better get ready, baby. Because when I put these 2 giant testosterone needles, baby, right in my legs, and I'm sitting there in the toilet, taking the stickers and poopers, baby, you better wait, because I'm going to come, and I'm going to put a 5 at the 7, put it right down on your ass, baby, because I am the American Dream Dusty Rose.
That's exactly what I said when I was doing it.
That'll scare your girlfriend. Be screaming that in the bathroom.
Yeah, I wasn't screaming. I was trying to be as quiet as possible today. I didn't want them knowing I was in there hiding.
But you know, my buddy Fernando had an anger problem in high school, and he used
doesn't
to
strike me. He's so calm though.
Oh, now he
Well,
is.
you know his nickname.
I think as he aged, his testosterone dwindled.
Maybe that's
so,
what's happening. That's
yeah. So his anger went down. But he used to break his own shit. Like I remember he got this video camera from a girlfriend of his. Like it was back in the day with like mini DV video cameras. It was like
yeah.
But
the old mini DV. I got so many tapes of mini DVs. Like little ones.
And at the time it was probably like $380, and it was like I'm talking.
It was
like,
the best of the best.
Probably 2000 or whatever. And he got pissed at her one day, and he threw it out his window. And he loved it. Like he would film himself skating.
Yeah,
and
sometimes you do that.
And then I was like, you broke your own shit. Like what? That's crazy. Like
I was
the thing you got mad, and then you broke your own shit. Like
I went
make
through
you more mad.
I went through a phase where if I bought something and every feature didn't work, I'm out of this phase. I've been at it for like 10 years. But if I bought, let's say like this Osmo Pocket that I bought.
Yeah.
The DJI Osmo Pocket. It's like a little video camera. If I bought it and one feature didn't work, I would keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And then eventually I would take it, I would smash it. And then I'd be like, oh shit, now it doesn't work at all. Like, and it wasn't computing to me, but I would still do it. I would break everything. Like this computer isn't working, one feature isn't working, break the computer. This Osmo Pocket isn't working, break the computer. This camera isn't working, break it. You know, and then I had to like work my way out of that.
Yeah. Although I've always wanted to be like rich and dumb enough to shoot my TV or shoot things like Elvis. Like I did great. Like
you don't have the anger though.
I don't. Like I get great.
I smashed my Lexus a couple of times. Like I pounded the roof in.
Really?
Like hammer fisted the shit out.
Gorillas.
Why? Over what? If you could like. Say.
I was arguing with just a buddy in the passenger seat. We're just talking, and I got we started arguing. I slammed on the brakes, got out.
What are you arguing about?
Dude, this was I don't know. I was 22 years old.
You gotta know.
I remember. Probably about drugs.
I
like
drugs. Drugs are good, man.
It was at the time where I was doing GHBs. I think we were talking
you heard a G-hole.
I listened to a podcast where Tom Segura was talking about doing GHB, and now I kind of want to do it.
Let's do it. You want to all do it?
How about we smoke weed one podcast and we do GHB the next time?
Yeah. And then the last
That's
podcast is ecstasy.
I need security here.
And then the last podcast is ecstasy, no Sam. No Sam. Last podcast is ecstasy, no Sam's allowed.
What the fuck?
And we
Why
all
do I
butt
have to
fuck
sit
each
out?
other.
Well, because if Seth,
because we're gonna start fucking and you're not allowed.
if Seth loses his mind and goes
I'll just
crazy,
watch.
we can't protect
Okay.
you.
I will
Would you
outlaw
guys?
all you.
Would you guys be okay if we were all me, you, Travis, and Tom? We're all butt fucking. Would you guys be okay with Sam watching?
Human dickipede.
As long as she has her shirt off, yes.
It's gonna be easier for me to fuck you guys if she has her shirt off. I'm with Sam.
Wait.
I'll be like this.
That's all I'll be doing.
I'm not even looking at you. I'm just that's a visual.
If you feel uncomfortable, you can wear like a scarf on your head or something.
A scarf on my
I don't know. I'm
head.
just trying to think of something.
Put the scarf over your head.
Put the scarf on.
I'll be like, don't write this down.
First voicemail.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. Scarfing it up.
I shit my pants a little bit this morning in Walmart. And went to the bathroom. Felt it coming. Bubble guts. Probably poor diet. Over drinking. And thought I was being clever by leaving my onesie on under my clothes this morning to stay a little extra cozy. But I couldn't get it off in time. All those fucking buttons.
Guy sounds depressed, first of all.
He shit himself.
Yeah, shit his onesie.
It's not that bad.
You gotta throw that onesie away.
Why would
Wait, he put clothes on over a onesie? I don't know.
No.
Is he from up north?
We'll do another one.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
That was a crazy person.
The long johns on.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Here, try this.
Made sense, but.
Hey, Tom, Dan. LJ from Georgia. Just calling to see if you have ever had an issue with texting your wives while grocery shopping. You physically in the store while they tell you the grocery list and shit to pick up. So I go to the grocery store tonight. I pick up everything that I need, and I'm standing in the checkout line, and I see 3 little fucking bubbles under text message. And I'm the next one up to line, and I'm waiting for the bubbles to come through, and it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. And so I check out. I walk halfway through the parking lot, and then a text comes through, and it says, Kit Kat. So, me being the vagina that I am, I turned around, I went back in the store, I got a Kit Kat, went back out.
You pussy.
What would you guys do if
Too late.
your significant other, your wives, whatever, if you were put in that position and, yeah, I don't know. Just wondering. Y'all be easy.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
I would have went back in, but I would have came out with a Quest bar and gave her that.
No, I would not go back in. I do it with you. I go, anybody want anything for Publix?
Yeah.
I give you guys, honestly, 1 second to reply.
Yeah.
And if you don't reply
you're
in 1
typing
second.
it as you're putting your card in the.
Right.
And I'm only doing it so you guys can't tell me, oh, you were over there.
I think the one time I did respond, which was maybe a minute later, you were like already gone.
Yeah, I was already here. I was like, you were typing, and I'm like, hi, I'm here. Like, I'm sorry. This was just fake. I was just trying to be cool.
Literally gotten into my car, started driving away, and my wife's like, text me like, "Have you left yet? I need this." And turn around, park,
Fuck no.
get out.
Like, nope, already left.
I need
all the way
tampons.
back.
No.
I'm afraid of
I
her.
wouldn't.
And that's what happens when you live in fear.
Okay, here's another one I do. My wife, in the morning, some mornings, my wife will want me to run out and grab a quick breakfast. It's not healthy, but it's donuts. You know, I'll go up to Dunkin' Donuts. I'll get some Munchkins, coffee for me.
You're enabling.
Well, May likes the Munchkins, so I get them for the baby. I get a coffee for me, and then Andrea always asks me, give me an orange juice. I go through. I get the donuts for my daughter. I get the coffee for me. I forget the orange juice because my wife doesn't matter. As I'm driving home, I get home. I pull in, and my wife's like, oh, you forgot the orange juice. I go, they're out. Every single time. And I lie to her, and apparently
Florida,
the
they're
Dunkin'
out of
Donuts on, I guess it's Bennett, has been
Colonial.
out of orange juice for 3.5 years, and they will never get it back. And I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm so afraid. I'm afraid to lie because she was like, I'm going to call him right now.
I called her bluff. I go, fucking call him. Fucking call him. And then if she goes to call, I grab her phone and smash it on the floor.
Orange juice is bad for you.
No, I don't do that.
God, orange juice.
It's bad.
Fruit.
Yeah, it's good. It's fruit.
It's the worst thing.
It's fruit.
It's
There's
the
no
most
sugar.
It's the most
Yeah.
fake.
There's
It's the
no
most
sugar in
fake
that.
healthy food out there.
You know what's
Sun-Kissed.
It's horrible.
You know what's bad for you when it's the go-to antidote for diabetes.
Yeah, it's orange juice.
Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense, though, right?
Well, no,
it's like, I'm almost
'cause
dead,
you
I'm almost
put-
dead, I'm almost dead, I'm almost give him the stuff that's killing him.
No, they got low blood sugar. They do that.
my stepdad, like he used to tell me, he's like, if I ever start, if I look like I'm in a coma with my eyes open, go get some Sunny D.
Give me some orange juice. Dude,
That's not even orange juice, though.
I know, but it had enough sugar to get him out of it.
I had a
It's
friend-
better than orange juice.
Yeah.
I had a friend that did that with ice cream, and he was going into a coma. Had ice cream. He had a dog. Came up every time he was going to try to eat the ice cream. His dog would eat the ice cream. He was like, he told us a story. He said it was like 20 minutes worth. He was like dying, and the dog, every time he scooped it out to eat it, the dog would eat it from him, and he's trying to kick the dog away in like a diabetic coma. He finally said he finally like fainted in the ice cream bin and
Licked it.
ate the ice cream so the dog couldn't get it, and that's what got him out of it.
You know what?
Fuck, bro.
Fuck
His name was
diabetes.
Iowa.
Because the same thing that caused this problem also helps.
That's what I'm saying.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Cycle of life.
Yeah. Like, goddamn diabetes. All right.
Email or voicemail? Where are we
Email.
at? Okay.
So I was at my in-laws, and my father-in-law's phone rang, and it sounded like Crazy Frog. Do you guys remember those annoying-ass commercials where you would subscribe for like $15 a month or a few horrible ringtones like the Crazy Frog just screaming?
Hold on. What's the Crazy Frog?
I do slightly remember the Crazy Frog.
It goes like
Remember
this.
the Crazy Frog commercial? Hold on.
Well, I remember.
I want the mummy ringtone.
Here, I got it. I got the commercial. Here, let's see if it'll.
Oh, I do remember this.
I didn't remember this. How long ago?
Tom is lit up. He's happy as fuck.
He
right
wants
now.
it as his ringtone.
Your kids would love
I'm air
this shit.
boofing right now. I love this. yeah.
Chart hit from Europe is finally available in the U.S. Text Crazy 1 for the polys, a part of the giant plan. Text Crazy 2 for the max.
Can you still text that?
Real
I wonder.
plan.
Try it.
755.
I like that his father-in-law had this as a ringtone.
Hold on.
There's a little crazy
755.
Yeah, you got to text.
Do it.
Hold on, I got to go back to it. I don't know what it. You got to.
Did you see the phone they were just texting from?
Okay.
Nokia.
Text
Nokia.
crazy one. Crazy one.
Okay, but what's the number?
7555.
7555. Okay.
It's $559 for the.
Congrats. We're downloading it.
No, it's $5.99.
Okay,
I'm just doing it.
super
It's worth
expensive.
$6.
I'm gonna text.
So text crazy one.
Or you can get the original for Crazy too.
Yeah, you could get. Yeah, thank you, Butler.
Polyphonic,
Butler,
the polyphonic.
Crazy, just dash.
I know who bought this before.
Crazy space one or crazy one?
Crazy one, all one
All
word.
one. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm texting crazy one to 7555. Let's see what it does.
Yeah. Here's more of the song while we're waiting.
Error. No.
Error.
What's going on?
You love it.
This was a hit.
He said bop it. Yeah.
Was this a hit?
Did they play this when you were like jumping Gravedigger and shit?
Did a stripper ever dance to this?
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah. And fast stripping.
This is not bringing back any memories to me. I don't know what this is.
You don't remember
2002? What are the
Oh, that's when I was punching my Lexus.
It was
today.
it was uploaded in 2009.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Somewhere around there, mid 2000s. Yeah. So that's the crazy frog. The big guy that's going.
What is he driving? Nothing?
I like this too. I'm with you. Reach out to Butler. Reach out to Crazy Frog. We want to advertise.
Oh yeah, on his ringtone.
They're overly expensive ringtones. All right, let me get a voicemail.
Dude, a 17-year-old made that song.
Really? Makes sense. It's shitty.
I mean, it is, but that
I
shit.
like it,
but that shit went.
the worst shit I've
that
ever
shit
heard.
got famous as fuck.
Yeah, it did. I mean, like he could, like if he, well, we know he didn't
Did
manage
they?
his
No,
money,
yeah,
but
oh, yeah.
if he did, he'd have been all right.
Can you find out who that person is and search what he is now?
You know what he did?
Oh, he's totally long necking it.
He
now.
recorded himself imitating the noises produced by a two-stroke engine. That's
Ding.
what that's.
Oh,
That's what that's supposed to be.
But the actual song is something else. That
XLF.
Okay, so
From Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah,
so
Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah.
well, you'd have to buy the rights to that to be able to sell this, right?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't
No
just
idea.
take a song.
When you're under 18, you can do what you
I
want.
would imagine, yes, yeah.
That's the rule.
Is that what your
Yeah,
girlfriend's
but
telling
like
you?
maybe he had already made enough money to pay him off, or had a deal, or knew a friend.
Yeah,
or
it had to
like-
be something.
Oh,
like
it was
that.
one of the friend things.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Here we go. Voicemail.
Hey, not to bring up old stuff, but you know, the whole Tom Rhodes thing. You know, initially when I listened and you guys came off and were real apologetic and everything, it was kind of like, okay. I didn't really feel like you guys needed to, and the more I listened, you know, the more I felt like you really didn't need to. And Samantha kind of chimed in later and was really like, you know, everyone kind of was like, screw him, kind of a deal. And I listened to his podcast. He probably got more listens to that podcast than any podcast he's ever done.
Yeah.
You know, being a, I think it was titled like I'm going to be a better asshole.
Less of an asshole.
Something like that, or not being an asshole or something. But anyhow, you know, I hate this word, but the only word I can kind of defines him other than like a really, really bad word is like super snarky, and everything he said was like so narcissistic. It was so hard to listen to. Like, I don't even know if I liked him before, but I can't even listen to him now. So all he really did was like alienate so many people. And when you call somebody a friend, it's like, I don't know what he was thinking on that, because I get what Dan was saying, because, I mean, how Tom was saying. It's like, when you say someone's a friend, you know, we all are probably more friends with you than he is, and we're just listeners. And we never, not a lot of us have ever even been to the show, but we still wouldn't be like, oh, we're friends. We just know a lot about you. And, you know, you may know something about some of the listeners, but you guys probably absolutely know dick about him, and he really knows less about you unless he's an avid listener and a BDM. So it's really ridiculous for him to have gone that direction. And if he really wanted you guys to, do something to promote, then he should have really tried harder to reach out to you guys, and then he really just alienated all of us listeners. I mean, I originally was going to go off and do something like probably a lot of people may have, and go on there and thumbs down his stuff or whatever, or go.
Well, certainly don't do that, and we're not trying.
He had a
to,
bad day. That's fine.
He had a bad day. Yeah, he did, and I cut his voicemail.
Did he have another bad day when he recorded that podcast?
I cut his voicemail short, and I apologize.
Very passive-aggressive.
And I'll be honest, because like in 2020, I want to be honest, but at the same time, I don't want to alienate or be rude to people that I admire, and I'll say right now, I do admire. And I do like Tom Rhodes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But I will say that I did listen to his show, and the one where he talked about us and our altercation, and it didn't make things better for me.
No,
it didn't.
Not for me either.
It didn't. But it didn't.
I heard the BDMs. He hates Tom.
Well, no.
Like,
there's no line in the sand. There's no line. But there's no. Look, there's no line in the sand.
Laughed at his divorce.
And I'll tell you guys this too. Apparently, when I was really high here one night, and I rode the scooter over here because we had computer crashes while we were on break, I was blazed high. I didn't know I did, but I signed up for his Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think
so you did, because you were like,
I did. I told you. I said I didn't do this.
On the show, I said I was going to.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I did because, no, but you and I are partners, and what's yours?
You're a better person than I am.
No. I just know our strengths and weaknesses. If there were other things that I'm going to flail on, you'll get my back. So I was like,
I'm glad you think that.
Well, no, I do think of it like that. I was like, when you said that, it wasn't like you were saying that. I took it as we were saying that. So I was like, yeah, I'll log in and sign up. So I did. But then after I heard the show, it made me sad. It did, because I was like, well, he doesn't fully understand where we're coming from, and I'm trying to understand where he's coming from, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. And like, I felt like some of the things he was still saying were insulting, and I was like, well, that's shitty. And I talked to Sam about it, and I said, am I out of line? And she'll usually tell me. You've told me before when I'm out of line, because that's acceptable. I think real friends will tell you,
take it easy, buddy.
Sorry, bro. Bring it down. But Sam was like, nah, I get it.
It's very passive-aggressive.
So I did cancel our Patreon, because
it's not like he's a BDM.
Oh, I hope he gets mad.
No, he said I could. He had emailed me and said, like, you only did it because out of guilt. Not true. I did it because we said we'd do it. If
Which
you want
is, again, to me, I read what he sent you. And
I sent it to you.
That to me sounded like...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know you only did this because of this. Instead of like,
it was shitty.
Yeah,
so
everything was negative and passive aggressive.
In a world of trying to not be shitty, I'm just like, I just deleted it, and I still haven't replied to the email. I've wanted to. I wrote some stuff and then I deleted it. I don't know what to say to you. I care about you. I respect you. I admire you. I think you're funny. I think you're a legend. But I don't necessarily think on this particular issue we're ever going to see eye to eye, and that's okay. And I'm choosing, like my barber said, John the barber, I'm choosing because he said, I think it's pretty wise words, my wife said the same thing, when two people say the same thing to you, you got to look at it, right? If Tom says something and Andrea says something, normally they line up a lot because they're both very logical. They're not very sentimental. They're not very lovey. They're not very, like, you and Andrea are like very logical in how you think.
Yeah.
I am more reactionary and emotional. And when you said it and John said it and then Andrea said it, I was like, this requires no response. I don't need to respond to your email. You were trying to be like shitty to me. I'm going to leave you alone and let you be great. So,
yeah, it's fine.
But don't lash out at him. We have no problem with it. I don't. I'm disappointed.
I'm wired like a weirdo because I did see BDMs. They're like, oh, you should listen because you really don't like you. And I
don't understand why anyone would not like you. You're the least
Ask
offensive.
My wife. She'll tell you. She'll tell you.
No, she loves you.
Ask the Grizz. Anyway.
He does not like you.
So
if he didn't like you, he wouldn't come visit you.
Well, he likes Crystal and the boys. And he likes me.
I tolerate
free place to stay there. Yeah. But I couldn't imagine what the number, like I try to think of what the price would have to be for someone to pay me to listen to it, because it would have to be money for me to go back, because I'm no interest whatsoever. Like I'm like, all right.
Well, here's what I would say, and here's the part
$800?
where he kept digging, and he kept digging, and I'll just outline it so nobody can ever say that I didn't tell you what really like stuck in my craw, right?
Oh, I know what.
When he says, like, I've been on your show 8 times, lie. You've been on our show 5 times.
No, 4.
Well, this
Wasn't
was.
that-
I
that
think
was the
this.
fourth,
I think
I
this
thought.
was the 5th.
No.
I could be
think it was
wrong
the
on that,
fourth,
but it's
though.
not.
I'm
8.
with Samantha.
It
I
could
think
be
it was
4.
the fourth.
Well, I know it's not 8.
Yeah. The old show, maybe, but
Well,
when
I
we were
don't.
on it,
I don't
they were-
count
yeah,
that.
it's
That's
not our show.
No, that doesn't count.
So
yeah, this was the 4th.
So okay, 4th then. So you've been on the show 4 times. You said 8. You were wrong. You didn't know what you were talking about. That's fine. But when you go and you say, I've been on it, I give you my best stories, all this kind of shit, and then I've only had one person come to my show and say that they heard me on your show. Here's what I would say. I agree with you. You're wasting your time here, man. You don't need to be on our show. We're not helping you at all. You've been on here, and only one person in the 4 times that you've been on, you thought it was 8, but, we'll go with 4. You thought it was, 8. It's 4 times. You've been on the show 4 times. You've only had one person ever say they heard you on here. You're right. You're wasting your time in here. You shouldn't have done our show. We are nothing to you, and you don't need to waste our time and your own time, because you got bigger fish to fry and stuff to do. Yeah. So go in other directions and do that, but don't blame us. Yeah. Don't blame us.
Well, that the logic behind him even getting mad that we didn't call him back to help him promote something is illogical. If you are then at the same time saying that we don't have an audience that helps you, so then what does it matter if we help you?
He talks out of both sides of his mouth.
You can't be mad that that we didn't help you promote something that nobody goes to your shows.
No, later in his podcast, he started admitting that more listeners had said things to him or emailed him before about hearing him on our show. Well, then which is it, Tom?
Exactly. Then which is it? Are you the...
I got more mad at the fact that he was like, I go in there every year, I bring them my best stories, and I go in there and they don't know anything about me. They don't do any research.
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
God,
that's
are you crazy?
Fucking lie.
That's a fucking lie, man. I know. I wrote so much stuff down to talk to you about, but unfortunately, you shanghaied us at the coffee machine.
And his audience doesn't know that.
Every time he comes in, I
he was
go
trying
to
to make you guys look like assholes.
I go to Ask Jeeves, and I'm like, who is Tom Rose?
Of course we do.
He brings up his Wikipedia, and I read the same thing. I'm like,
you can even hear during the show, Tom goes, hey, Jeeves. What's his name, Jeeves? What's his wife's name? Get out of here with that. So,
and then I look up the same thing over and over 4 years in a row, and I'm like, okay,
in 2020, I want to be helpful. I want to be loving. I want to be kind. I want to be great to people. I want to have an amazing year. But I also don't want people to like fucking bullshit me and treat us like shit. So there's a huge part of me right now that sort of says, you know what? After what you did, and then after your bullshit fake fucking apology, I got nothing for you, man. I wish you the best, and I would never take any accomplishments away from you. You had an NBC sitcom. You're one of the most heralded comedians that's ever set foot through our doors, and you get to sit here and you talk to us, and
we enjoy it.
And we enjoy it. But if you're gonna act like that, I'm gonna respectfully ask you to fuck off. I don't care. I don't care anymore.
That's that.
And to send the email and send it in a way where you knew that you're already
shitty.
Well, you're telling me why I signed up for your Patreon. Don't tell anybody
and then
why
he's
they did
anything. You an
anything.
email that somebody was
we
our
used the
listener
F word for gays, and it was
that
out of
was very
line.
negative.
It was
and
out
it's
of
like,
line.
look, we don't control what people email you.
That
We never
guy was
told
out of
anybody
line.
to send you hate mail.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
but he's
if
like,
he believes-
here's your listeners. Here's what they say to me. And
I
it's
did
like,
laugh
okay.
a little bit. I know that guy.
I mean, the guy was probably lit up.
He'll
He was
say worse than
drunk, and
that.
he was like, I'm going to send a really negative email to
Yeah.
Tom Rose. So anyway, I mean, not to... anyway,
Yeah.
it is what it is, but, I wish the guy the best, but...
Tully will headbutt you.
Oh yeah, we'll stick Tully on you.
Listen, don't go and
No, leave
attack
him
him.
alone.
Leave him
He's
fine.
great.
It's fine.
I mean,
Get a
he's
bad day.
fine, but like...
What's weird is like...
It is very, very odd, man, because we tried to handle it... Like, I think we tried to handle that better than we've tried to handle anything that we fucked
apologize
up.
there. Now, he didn't want to talk about it on the show, but how could you if we just had this weird, awkward encounter for the first 15 minutes of the show and then sit down and like, all right, you ready? I'm like, this is weird.
And
Like,
you know what he said?
I thought you were
on
going to
his
leave.
podcast. He goes, I went in there with a negative attitude and I didn't want to do it and I should have never done it. Yeah, you should have never came in here, motherfucker.
Well,
like,
that's
if
not
you were
on
going to come
us.
in here shitty, then don't come in here.
Yeah, it's
That's
on him
not
that
on
he
us,
came in with a
man.
negative attitude
Yeah,
already.
I mean, like,
What's weird is like we've emailed lots of people when they've said like, "Hey, come on our show, do this, whatever." We send the email, and if they don't respond, my first assumption is they're busy. And then, like,
Right.
my first assumption isn't like, oh, they're trying to fuck me. Fuck those.
They're avoiding me.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
avoiding
I'll give
me.
you
It's
one.
like,
You're
I was
fucking
like,
psycho,
everybody's
dude.
busy.
I'll give you one.
They
Running
don't-
a goddamn business here.
They don't owe me anything. They offered me something. I sent them an email. If they don't email me back, I was like, okay, no problem. They're busy. Like, I don't look further into it. Like, it's a bizarre.
Or,
John-
or how about this? Follow-up email.
here's
I don't
one.
know.
John
or
Heffron,
just be like, it's all good.
John Heffron will occasionally just email me out of the blue. And then I'll email him back. And the last time he did that, I never got anything back.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Right.
Here's another one. Guy Tori asked for the list of all the equipment that we use. I sent it to him. I didn't get anything back for 6 months. I did like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I get it.
It's what happens.
I get it.
People get busy and
I
things
get
happen.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I heard it. I listened to your show. I didn't think it was cool. I thought that you did everything within your power to passively aggressively assassinate us. So there we are.
I like it because we rarely get in
No,
any
we
drama.
don't.
So
Yeah.
that was like, 2020 is
It's almost
starting
like
off
you
with
can
some
feel
drama.
again.
Yeah. And then I was like,
it's almost like cutting your feet with razor blades. It's like just so you can have some emotion. Yeah, I gotta feel something again.
do you wanna,
I like how the whole room looked at me.
You want
like,
to email? Or
He
you wanna,
probably
are we
does
done?
that.
Nah,
Yeah. One more and get out of here.
Okay.
Get out or one more?
One more email.
Okay.
Get out of here.
It says, "Oh my God, if you like live PD, you will love this show. My wife turned me on to it. It's called Body Cam, and it's on Investigative Discovery Channel. Each show consists of 2 police calls or so, and you can get the actual body cam footage. It's like live PD on steroids.
I watch it.
Unlike live PD, you get to see
Yeah.
the entire call from start to end, including what happened to the perp. I'm 2 episodes in, and it has me hooked. Almost every show involves gunplay, and it is very intense. Season 2 starts on December 3rd, but you can watch Season 1 using the ID app on your Apple TV or iOS device.
There's another one that competes called PD Cam, or like I think it's called PD Cam, where it's the body cam, but it's live PD's version of it.
Yeah.
And it's aggressive. Like I'm watching with my wife the other night, and I'm just sitting in bed. I maybe tooted some delicious Alaska to try and bring myself to the heavens. And I'm kind of hunkering down for a fun night. And I watch a guy, and they're like, we'll warn you right now that some of this video is intense. And it's a guy, and the cop walks up. He proceeds to pull a gun on the cop and then start wrestling with her. And then she just unloads her, I guess her registered firearm into him. And, like, you see it, hear it, watch him slump over, and they're like, the suspect died on the scene.
Oh, my God.
Let's go to our next story. And then they just jump over, and I'm like, what the fuck are we watching? I looked at Andrew, I go, is this your, like, what is this? I just watched a guy, like, she was like, stop! Ah! Ah! It was like real screaming. Like, she was like, ah! It was like, ging, 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 ging. Dead.
Damn.
And I'm like, all right.
I don't want to see that.
Did the perp make any noise? Like,
No.
As he got shot.
You know what? I want to dead. I know, but you know, Bus Decker's coming in here, and sometimes
is he
soon.
allowed?
But he just did that.
You guys were fighting on text. Why do you fight with him so much?
You're
like, sure, no, you pussy, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll take the chopper, you motherfucker. They battle.
The nerds battle each other. It's funny.
How dare you?
Fucking dorks.
Are you a nerd now?
I'm trying to.
I'm cool now.
He's nerdier than me.
Oh, I'm cool because I go to his birthday parties.
Yeah.
I have your car sister.
I can be douchey and cool. Douche bro cool.
Douche bro cool.
I think we invented that. But, the body cams. So when the cops have to wear them,
body massage.
Do they? Are
You
they
need a body massage.
always aware that they wear like they're on film and like they're being filmed
I think
at all
so,
time?
yeah.
Or does it because you've heard the stories of like when people film reality shows, like they say the psychological effect of the participant like being filmed is like the cameras are around and they're like at first aware of them at all time, but that fades away,
Right.
and then they're just to go back to normal, and they just don't even like aware of the cameras really. Like it becomes a normality. So is that the same thing that happens when you have a body cam on and you're working? Because imagine like working your 8-hour shift. Imagine if we all had to wear body cams.
Oh.
Would we forget that?
Let's do it.
I fucking wouldn't.
I can tell you what we did because we wore microphones 24/7 for 8 weeks of filming The Ultimate Fighter. We totally forgot about them and had some. We had to be careful a couple of times. We're like, oh shit, did we just really just say that? Right
You're
now?
like, oh man, did I just sing my N-word song? Inward, 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 inward.
That's good. Yeah. And then there's always the person, and me and Daniel almost did this.
Oh, my band director left his lavalier on when he go to the potty.
His pee-pee.
Yeah, he's got a hard, like a hard prostate. He'd be like,
and then everybody's laughing in the.
Come on, just a little drop. My band director did.
That's a lot of struggle to get through
Yeah.
jumps.
Yeah, it is.
Does it even make you feel relieved?
And old men notoriously come out and there's just piss all over their pants.
yeah.
Because it's just going crazy.
Because then when they put it away, then it comes out.
Well, like I do even do that now. Like sometimes even here, like especially like today, a day like today. Sorry guys, it's gonna gross you out, but like I go in there, I'm like, can I butt in line? I go to the bathroom. They're like, yeah, you got to run the studio and everything. I go in there, I pee, pants up, belt on, buckle, wash hands, and then my dick goes.
Really?
And I can feel it, and I'm like, thank God I got underwear on.
What's even worse is like that the other day when I was going through Wawa and that old man was pulling his dick out by the tasty cakes to go to the bathroom. He's passing. He's on his way to the bathroom, and he's already got his.
Gonna be that kind of party. I'm gonna pull my dick out of the
his shorts.
He's really gotta go. I've had that happen.
Tasty cakes.
So if you don't get out in time, it
Dick
flicks
tasty
and goes
cakes.
everywhere.
The other thing that I've noticed now too, and I've been trying to teach my wife this, and I don't know if this is too far for you, Tom, but we're at the end of the show, so I'm willing to take a gamble.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it in, and I'm coming, and I'm like, I'm not done, I'm not done. It's still coming out, and then we get done, and I go 1, 2, 3. Last night I go 1, 2, 3, Voltron, disengage, and she ran for the toilet. I did say that. She was like, "Don't say that." I did Voltron disengage, and then as I sat there, I looked down, and it was just like a tube of toothpaste. It just or like medicine, you know, when you got to put like cream on a rash, and it just kept coming out. And it's just, I mean, it's still coming. I should have left it in. And I think that's an age thing, right? Because when I was young, and young, dumb, full of cum.
Were you backed up? Had it been a while?
When it came, it's never been a while because I jacket so much. It's never been a while because I jacket so much.
Yeah, that's a great. What is the Creed song?
It's never been a
No,
while.
that's Stain. How dare you?
I don't know that shit.
Hold on, I'll do it. It's never been a while since I have had my dick on toothpaste out. It's never been a while since I have left it in my wife. It's never been a while. Voltron disengaging, you go sit on the toilet. It's never been a while. I hear a in the water.
Is Nolan Ryan spitting his tobacco in the toilet? What is
Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
Somebody throw a penny in a wishing well.
Let's get out of here. Seth.
Speaking of pee, I do have to pee right now. You guys are making me have to pee. So I'm shaking my leg.
We're done with the show.
That's great.
Get him out of here before he pees on our couch.
Let me watch.
Let me watch. No, you know me. I always leak. I always end up leaking.
Let me hold it. Let me hold it.
Can't hold
I'm a
it.
leaker.
Can I hold it?
It's a bladder problem.
Yeah, I know. No, I've been to the doctor because of it.
Oh, no.
He said
I'll leave you with
before.
this. I'll leave you with this. One New Year's, I had a girl that I was dating walk into the stall with me and hold my penis while I peed.
Okay, that's an odd thing.
Did
just
you
told
like
me.
it?
I don't know why you said that.
I didn't like it. She
Everybody
asked
should
to.
be scared of.
No, she
for their
has to
lives.
do it. It's like when your baby cousin has to hold your handgun. You're like, oh, just the safety's on. You're good.
So Seth,
yes. If it, okay, I'll just plug. If you want to see my car, follow Bad Cat.
With 2 T's.
No, 2 T's. Bad Cat 787. No, but follow my personal Instagram because it's much more intimate things on there. Silverback at Silverback Seth.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me.
How's Felicia
Jim's
doing?
Felicia's doing great. I feel really bad. I literally just realized that this morning, every Friday morning, I hold pads for 8 rounds to get ready for a fight.
Ew.
Totally fucking.
I'm sorry.
Totally fucking forgot
know
this
what was
morning about her pads. I just texted her between breaks like, Felicia, I just remembered I was supposed to hold pads for you this morning. I'm so sorry. Like, so yeah. But she's doing great. Her pad work.
I'm no longer a pad guy. See my car.
February 28th.
More of a stick man.
29th. February 29th.
Yeah, 29th. 29th in Virginia.
Yeah.
More of an
We need to get her
albino
in to talk about
macanudo.
the
Yeah.
Norfolk Scope, Virginia.
As long as she's not mad at me, I'll get her right in here.
I know. I'm interested to see what the odds are, but now she's going to be a favorite.
She's gonna
right?
be a favorite.
Yeah. See, it's not. God, it was that sweet spot where she was the underdog.
Yeah,
God
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
a lot of people
You
won
messed
money
up.
off that first
You can
fight.
root against her, and I could do
I
something.
still
to the
have
other.
money.
Oh, come on.
I'm
You shouldn't even joke about that.
I'm still gambling with money off of the winnings from the first fight. Like,
oh, really?
when we bet big, a lot of people blew
She's
it.
talented, man.
Yeah.
She's also super sweet. And thank you guys again for being a part of foot golf.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Like, I don't think, like,
Felicia
even
had a
the
lot of fun.
listeners, that they meet her and they're like, oh, wow, you're not, like, at all, like, gonna, like, punch my face or
Oh,
you're not,
she's
like, aggressive.
quiet.
She's so sweet. She's
Yeah.
like a teacher. And then you go against her and she'll fucking break your head.
By the way, thanks to everybody who participated in our foot golf tournament
Phenomenal.
and all the sponsors. We raised $30,000, our most we've ever raised ever, and it's all because of you guys.
You're welcome.
And our great sponsors. So we really appreciate it. We'll do it again next year.
in the
and,
cold again, or in the cool weather like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That
Cool
was
weather.
so
Man,
much better, dude.
The course.
Best
Oh, my
weather
God.
we could have ever asked for.
Thanks
for
to
an
Mayfair.
event. Yeah.
Thanks to Jeff Triplett, the mayor of Sanford.
Who was just laying in the grass and decided to play with us, apparently.
They're
right?
getting ready to dump a $2 million renovation into that course.
Thank
so
God.
next
Sorry
year
for
could be
Hole 13,
absolutely
by the way.
Are
amazing.
they getting rid of the foot golf? Because I kind of
They
thought
custom built that for our.
No, I
for
know,
event.
but I'm like, I kind of felt like, oh, they're dumping money and they may not want it, again.
No,
but,
because
you know.
the good thing about foot golf
And
is
who was the
you
the
can make the course
orange shirt
off of the
It's in the
regular
rough.
course,
They
like in the
set
rough.
it up in the rough.
Well,
so-
the guy that ran it, the orange shirt gentleman, spiky hair,
Yes.
nice guy, tall.
I'm
the GM of the course.
Yeah,
forgetting
yeah.
about
what
his
a
name.
dude! How
great guy.
cool was that guy?
Yeah. Shout out to Mayfair Country Club in Sanford.
Yeah, they're
and
amazing.
Jeff Triplett, we need to. When is the next election? That guy should always be elected. Like he should be. Seriously,
He gets it.
He's good for Sanford, and
Yeah, I think he gets
He
it.
gets it, and
he was there when shit was bad.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and helped turn Sanford around and make it an awesome place. So
The jungle helped do that for Sanford too, by the way. When we moved in there.
Samantha, if you want to listen to semantics,
Forget my name.
Samantha.
I almost called you semantics.
Samantha,
Semantics.
do you have AIDS? Samantha has AIDS.
Yeah, my show is Semantics. You can go to semanticspodcast.com and you can find us everywhere. Tonight we have Chris Rock from Rock Pit Brewing, as well as Joe Byrne from Burn Termite Pest Control on. And
Burning rocks tonight.
we are having our 3-year anniversary on Saturday, February 29th at 2 p.m. at Rock Pit Brewing.
Yeah,
Awesome.
with
Hang
a
out.
silent auction to benefit
Orlando Girls Rock Camp.
Orlando
Yeah.
Girls Rock
cool.
Camp, and some of the shit that Sam's coming up with. Just get your wallet ready.
Awesome.
Well, I'm not. My listeners are helping
well,
me out
they're
here.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good, and hopefully I'll get Maisie involved in Orlando Girls Rock Camp when she's old enough. But what a cool charity, and I'm glad that you chose that. It's phenomenal. So I'll be there. I know a lot of other listeners will be there. So let's all celebrate 3 years of another great independent podcast. Anything
I'll be
else,
there
my friend?
too. Tom,
No, he
Whoa,
won't.
whoa, whoa! Write it down. Write it
Writing
down.
it down
Let's-
right
Let me
now.
look what I got. Does my wife put anything in there? I'm pretty sure I'll be there.
Wasn't there last year or the year before,
Yeah.
by the way.
Where is it at now? Where's
Dan
it
was
at?
there the past 2 years.
Why does he
Tom.
always do stuff and you don't do shit?
Where's it
What
at
is
again?
I'm a busy man.
Where's it at
Busy.
again?
I got
You just hate
numbers, the paperwork.
It's
My
at
God,
numbers.
the paperwork.
I've got numbers to do and
It's at Rock Pit
Letters to
Brewing
see.
in Soto.
You have to remember that Tom can't go to Rock Pit to see his producer's podcast, but his wife will fly away to Red Rocks to see
Right?
the David Brothers.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm scared of her. What do you guys don't listen to me?
I feel like
Help!
we need to help him.
No one's listening.
All right. On that note, he needs help, and we'll see you next week.